to whatever we want them to be. Okay.
No, I don't care.
So, so what I'm thinking for this little like stream is that we maybe do like a recap for mostly ourselves, because I'm sure we don't have any audience necessarily. And then we do like a little bit of RP in regards to like a campfire RP, possibly where maybe like the you're being interviewed in game, in character, as well as like out of character. And in doing so, we kind of talk about the world a little bit. We talk about the lore. We talk about our characters a little bit more. We do at least the campfire question that I've already asked in the lobby, maybe another one, depending on how we're feeling. And we kind of just talk about the game and the questions we might have about the lore, about the world, about ourselves. Nothing that progresses the story of the dungeon, since we're missing Razor today. And Razor, I've been playing with him for a long time, so he's like really cool and like barely misses a session. So I'm not too worried about him missing some of this, because he's really good at absorbing information as well. And then I say that we kind of like let Osmos come on as like a guest occasionally if he wants to, but historically, sometimes he gets so busy with his life that sometimes he falls through without being able to show with me at least. Which is okay. It happens. Life happens. But what do you guys think about that? Any questions?
Nope.
Cool.
It sounds good.
Okay. And when I restarted my computer, everything is running like 10 times better, Stacy. Like I have literally like right now Adobe Premiere running in the background, a bunch of stuff, Figma running in the background, and none of it's interfering. So
That's good.
yeah,
That's really good.
So either OBS is a little bit more intensive than Streamlabs, or just like restarting fixed my computer's problem. It may have been just a restart because my mouse is no longer jumping like it was before.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Okay. So I'm just gonna put our map just for the live stream, so they have something to look at. But you guys can optionally join it. If you do, I'll hide the map until you guys do. I'll kind of keep it all exposed so that the live streamers can see everything that you'll eventually encounter.
I promise not to peek. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, I won't look either. Although, like I said, I don't think this is as much about getting out of a map as it is dealing with a bunch of challenges.
Yeah, I think seeing ahead doesn't really tell you much.
Nope.
But I'll kind of leave it open for a while for the live streamers, and then I'll fog it, and you guys can join in.
I really love the potion sellers and stuff you have popping up on the side. It's very cute.
Yeah, I did. I ended up going, Stacy, with my own video creation because I can customize it a lot more, and then I can do like I was thinking about eventually doing. I didn't have the bandwidth, but I was gonna do like ads that like, and then I was gonna like make it like the video, for example, like an hour long, right? And then when it's time for us to take a break, an ad will come up, and it's like this moment is interrupted, and then it'll interrupt our gameplay.
Oh, that would be great. Ads inside of the ads.
Yeah.
Rather.
I love it so much.
Yeah, the
So good.
in-game ads inside of the breaks.
Yeah.
Inception.
I do have ad breaks set up already. I don't have them in the stream as scenes yet, but I have these little ad breaks that we play while we're on break that will constantly have little advertisements that play.
Yeah, I told Kyle Stacy that I need more breaks, and then he came up with a creative idea for the commercials.
Nice.
Um,
That's a really good idea also. Could I request some music for ambiance?
yeah. How do you want to do that? Do you? I can play music through RPG Engine if you joined it. Uh,
I did, but it's not going through to the stream.
oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. I have to turn up the audio on RPG Engine.
Ah, I see.
Yep.
I love that request. It's so funny. Awesome.
Okay. I just don't know if it's the music. Okay, so
Have you str- have you streamed a lot then, Stacy?
Not a lot, but a little bit for some time.
Nice.
okay, let's choose our music then for this because RPG Engine has like a pretty big selection, but it's still limited. Right now, I'm playing the very sparse piano, which is like a very like the calmest of all the songs they have available. Um, but if you guys click, do you guys see the audio controller on your sides?
Yeah.
Okay. If you click that, then you should be able to see a list of music options that we can do. We have Calm Before the Storm, Chopper, Done by Evil Rising, Falling Angels, Final Storm, Inception, Squad. Test them out.
Can we just cycle through all of them, like one by one? And if it gets too intense for like combat music, we can just skip it to like a more calmer one, so that it's just chill, but it's not repetitive.
Yeah, I can add them all. Yeah.
I like that.
There's definitely ones that are pretty intense. I'm gonna try to avoid those.
Yeah, you know them best.
Intense. I only know a few of them, like just guessing by the names. They're intense. Okay.
Now I feel like I should open RPG Engine because I have the streams muted.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. Plus, I kind of like seeing my character and messing around with them a little bit.
Yeah.
Even if we're not doing anything. But I had a question. In the reactive, I was able to change my profile picture. Am I able to change my name in there too?
I'm not sure actually. I don't know.
Okay.
Let me check.
Because my name is different because I changed it in Discord. Not because I changed it, yeah, but my profile picture is different because I changed it in reactive.
I don't think that you can change your name in reactive because it pulls up what you have set as your Discord.
Okay, cool. But it did change really fast when I switched it to the Mica Star, so
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Yeah, you can't. I don't think you can do it per server unless you, because there is a way to like change your nickname only for the server. Like I think you. That's what
I did.
That's what you did. Okay, cool. I know there's like sometimes there's a premium cost for things like that, but I think it's part of the free.
No, I think it's for changing your profile picture, which is why the reactive is really cool.
Yeah. Okay, so the music should be good, and the volume kind of changes a little bit per song, so I may have to adjust my volume.
Yeah, that's fine.
And then
May the chat text if the music gets too loud.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm probably not to the point where I can really view the text chat, but I'll try to. Okay.
No, I'll be monitoring it a little bit.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, we can help too in the day.
Nice. Okay, perfect.
If we get anyone watching.
Okay, so I know I posted a lot of content. Some of it was just like, since you guys are in the same world as other campaigns as mine, I had some like lore already built for the universe. Some of it was that. All of it I don't think is essential for you guys to like memorize or know. A lot of it's just like as needed references for ourselves. maybe some of it's like pertains to your character's background if you have like if you wanted to tie your background more to the universe. But everything in this universe is so flexible that it doesn't matter, and I can always figure out ways to tie you in independently, or how it makes sense. But I posted some like direct information about the campaign, Peril to Profit, which we could probably cover a little bit for our sake and for the audience's sake. And that's in the Goldspire channel on the very top of our Discord. The next channel below that is Universe Lore. This is the stuff mostly taken from P2K and then kind of condensed a little bit. Then P2P locations. This will contain like any kind of significant locations you guys visit. I might do a post on specifically the Labyrinth that you guys are in, or maybe locations within the Labyrinth. I haven't decided how much I want to break that down. But right now it's just the planet that you guys are on, which again, like your characters probably wouldn't know that information, so it's not really necessary for you guys to know it. And then the channel after that is Notes. This is for you guys to put any notes you have. The more notes you can provide, the better. Notes will help me, like, one, it will help us keep track of like the loot you guys have and the materials you guys have, but also keep track of anything that's significant to you happened. So if you have a Google Doc that you're keeping, you can post it there, and then etc. Anything you have is valuable and will help with the recaps. And then there's the below that is the recap channel, and this channel kind of contains I'll try to post a recap of every session, and it'll be mostly from my perspective unless you guys have provided me write-ups or your own recaps or your own notes. Then it'll mostly just be like what I remember when I do the recording and I mostly just talk to ChatGPT, then ChatGPT writes up a breakdown of what happened. And then it's kind of time extensive, but sometimes I do a little video. This video took me a couple hours to do, and it kind of like narrates the events that happened from in-game, like from the perspective of the corporations. So I put together a little script, and then kind of like use AI voices for it. And then sometimes I can do like recaps using Notebook LM. I don't really control the lengths of those, but they're kind of completely audio AI podcast generations recaps that I did. And then below that is the quick reference channel. This will have like references to Daggerheart rules that we most often need or need to look up or find ourselves questioning. There's also safety tools in there. We'll go over each of these, like we can go over each of these channels, and you guys can ask specific questions on each of them. But is there any questions this far on this like Discord overview?
No, the Discord overview is pretty clear.
Okay.
Could we go through the lore a little bit though? Like, I know that there's a lot of text, but maybe you could give us some like main lines that we need to remember about the world and the labyrinth and the corpos.
Yeah, do you want me to switch to that now, or do you want me to finish with the Discord
yeah, sure.
overview?
After. Yeah.
Okay. So then the next channel is like your employee profiles. This is like everything about your characters and links to your character sheets. You could also post your links to your 3D models in there if you wanted. But this is just information about your characters. And then I'm also doing this unique thing where every recap I do, I add to your outstanding corporate debt. As a kind of a way, it's more of a flavor rather than mechanical. There's no mechanical effect of your debt. But your debt kind of represents like significant things your character has done. And then your corporate like charges you for those things. And so it's flavored like from the enemy's perspective. And we can cover that more too shortly. And then the next channel is companions. So like I said, each of you can acquire one companion throughout the campaign. And to make it easier, I've given the companions passive abilities. So Amber, your companion Jerry, gives you a +1 to your presence, just by default, by having him on your team.
The power of peer pressure.
Yes. And then you can optionally choose to fight with Jerry, but I oftentimes find that players and myself forget about NPCs sometimes, companions, and so it's easier to have them have a passive ability. That way you don't have to keep track of them and you don't feel bad for not remembering about them. And then Flip, my co-star, gives you a +1 to your armor score.
Oh, okay. My little mossy Flip pet.
Yep.
Wait, what did you say it gives me?
A +1 to your armor score.
Oh, my armor's like not bad already, so that's awesome. I'll be a pretty armored little wizard.
The next channel is like general NPCs. Right now I only have the shopkeeper in there, but any significant NPCs that you pass by, I'll try to remember to like put them in there, and you guys can put them in there too. If there's an NPC that really stood out to you that for some reason I didn't remember, then you can put their name in there or whatever information you remember about them, and then I'll kind of break down NPCs you come by. The next channel after that is the shop channel. This is where all the either the links to or the direct shops will be posted in, and the channel is called Buy, Survive, and Succeed. And right now, if you notice, there's a PDF file in there. That's all the shops in the entire Labyrinth right now. But you don't have access to all those shops like all the time. And then some of the inventory, you only have access at certain shops within the Labyrinth. And so that will be kind of referenced if you ever go shopping or go to one of those shops. You can quickly reference what's available. We're going to remove this song because it's really bad. That's playing right now.
We can filter out the music now too that we don't like.
Yep. Okay, so I'm going to the next song. Okay, so then after that is the Campfire channel. This will be like every week or every like whenever I get to it, I'll post a campfire question outside of the session. That will be kind of done like at the end of every session. The corporate world, RuneSpark Entertainment, will interview you guys at the end of every session. And they'll ask you a few joking questions, like corporate questions, and then I'll always have one audience question that will be like a campfire question. That will be like the serious question that you'll answer for other people on your team. That's like kind of like a character connection question, ongoing character connection question. And you can feel free to answer this outside of session as much as you want. Have any text RP there, what you want with the interview, kind of go back and forth, add some depth and comedy and flavor. But then you can also like think about the question and answer it during session, which we'll do if we get time today. We'll do the question I asked this last week, and between you two, and that's a little fun and quirky thing. And then Microstar that was like one of their favorite parts was character connections, so I'm gonna kind of keep that going as like a reoccurring theme. I'll also do campfire questions whenever you guys take a long rest. So there's like 2 long rest places in the maze, and when you guys get there and take a long rest, you'll have like a campfire moment where we'll ask a bunch of these campfire questions, like we did, like our 3 campfire questions, like we did with the character creation part. Then the next channel is propaganda and art. I figured since Stacy's such a wonderful artist, or Amber's such a wonderful artist, this place will be really good for you to post some of your art that you make, Stacy, if you ever do. And then also I'll post some corporate propaganda here that's funny. And then the next channel is text RP. If we ever do text RP, some campaigns I have do a lot of text RP. Sometimes we do it like very briefly, like we'll have several months where we're doing tons of text RP, then we just suddenly stop. It goes on and off. So I just add text RP in case we feel inspired to do, or in case we want to have more conversation around a campfire question, or whatever. Yeah, and so those are all the channels that I added. Does anybody have any? We can go back from the top and kind of talk about the universe lore here in a second. But does anybody have any questions?
No.
Cool.
Nope.
Also, at the end of each session, the fog of war will reset. So, so after you guys have like completed a session, like when you start back up next week, your fog of war will reset for the entire dungeon that you discovered.
Oh, bummer.
That's mostly a mechanical
what
issue.
will reset?
A fog of
Say
war.
it again.
Fog of war. Like the darkness.
Basically, we
Wait, what?
forget the way back because the labyrinth changes around us.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it's mostly a mechanical limitation on my part because I have to, if I have to edit the labyrinth, I have to unfog it, and then it's very difficult for me to remember. I guess I could remember, but it's time consuming to go back and reveal everything that you guys have discovered. And so it's easier for me just to reset the fog of war each time and only reveal the parts you guys can see.
I just keep hearing you say fog of war. I don't know if that's what you're saying.
That is what I'm saying. Fog of war is what it's called. Like, fog of war is what it's called in RTSs, at least. Yeah, that's what it's called here, too.
Oh,
It's like
I've never heard that term. Yeah.
it's like what you use to hide the map. That's the.
Nice. Okay, cool.
I just posted a picture of the tool. Um,
Thanks.
I also gave you guys access to build tools in this map now. So if you click the little play button on RPG Engine, you should now see the ability to place objects and the ability to use a cutout controller, which allows you to see through walls.
X-ray vision.
Yep. That which can only be, which like you always don't have X-ray in character, but it could be used in case something's being annoying and you can't get it to work. Can't get your camera angle to work or whatever. And then Prop Master will allow you to place your other character, Amber, that you made in RPG Engine, but it looks like this character works for you. But Prop Master will also allow you to rotate your characters. So if you click on your character and then click on the number 4, then you'll get rotation tools to be able to rotate your character. In addition, instead of clicking the 4 shortcut, there's a little like arrow pointing in all 4 directions where the build menu is, and you can click on that arrow, that button, and it'll come up with all the different tools, including rotation mode, scale mode, and move mode. I'll have to explain this next week too for Razor, so if you're not getting it, that's fine. No worries. That should allow you guys to move your characters. The only downside to build mode is that you guys may accidentally be able to move something else that you're not supposed to move. So just let me know if it becomes annoying, and I can disable it for you. Any questions?
No, thank you.
Okay.
That-
Okay, so lore. Okay. So this campaign, Peril to Profit, takes place in a location called the Goldspire Territories. This is what your characters would know. I'm going to start out with what your characters kind of know about your world. And your characters might know more depending on their background, which is completely up to you. And we're kind of letting that kind of figure out over time what your characters' backgrounds are as part of the character connection and the campfire questions. But what your characters would know at bare minimum is that you live in the Goldspire Territories. The Goldspire Territories are located on Terra, which your characters might know the name of the planet. You might have different names for it. And you wouldn't necessarily know about the rest of Terra, so I'm not going to give Goldspire's Territories location yet. But we'll go over that in a second. But I don't know if your characters would know where Goldfire Territories is located. But Goldfire Territories is kind of split between different corporations. And these different corporations kind of run Goldfire Territories as a dystopian corporate world in a high fantasy, hard magic setting. Sort of like a D&D, typical D&D setting, medieval, Renaissance setting, but there's these different corporations that have kind of overruled the government. And there might be some sort of monarchy still, but the monarchy has no power. And instead, contracts rule everything, fine print rules everything, and agreeing to something is like law around here. And profit rules everything. And so much so that the only people who actually have gold are like the CEOs, are like 1% of the population, less than 1%. And the CEOs of these corporations. Everyone else just basically uses like placeholders, like that are referred to as handfuls, bags, chests, and hoards. And each of those are like kind of like the corporate currency of the world. Are there any questions about that?
Nope.
No.
And so these corporate rulers kind of rule over everything, and one of the major corporations is Kazrak. Kazrak is an industry, so it's a major corporation that is claimed to be Dwarven owned and makes Dwarven products that they claim to be really powerful and really strong with Dwarven metals and Dwarven stone, but typically they end up, cheapskating and giving you something cheaper than that. And Dwarven metals are kind of probably like one of the most powerful metals that your characters know about in this world, but although there are more powerful metals. And Kazrak has this labyrinth called the Labyrinth Trials of Worth. And the Labyrinth Trials of Worth are where you guys are right now. And the Labyrinth Trials of Worth are, one, how adventurers or people, basically they're like it's like a college, an adventurer's college. It's like how people get their adventurer's certification or licensing to be able to get like higher paid jobs. And be able to like do certain things. A lot of things are illegal to do if you don't have this adventurer's license. And they claim it's to protect people for like safety, but in reality it's like to control the population, right? The Labyrinth also is known to make people famous because they do like a TV show through it and they give people a screen. It's known to get people like really famous, and it's how you get your fame to star, and it's advertised as a quick way to success, a quick way to succeed, a quick way to make money, and it's propaganda-wise advertised as an easy way to make money, an easy way to bring yourself up the ladder. And it's also kind of like a theme park at the same time. Those who are like really, really obsessed with the corporate world or like brainwashed and maybe like wealthy in the world or middle class wealthy will come here like as a theme park to like enjoy it or whatever. And then finally there's like this rumor in the underground rebel circles that if you pass all the trials, the entire labyrinth, which is rumored to be infinite, but it isn't, there's a limit to it, then you become the CEO yourself. Like you could overpower Kazrak. Any questions?
So basically like Hunger Games.
Yeah.
But D&D.
Kyle the other day.
Yeah.
It's
cool.
Has a Hunger Games vibe, but it's cooler because it's in this like fantasy dystopia.
Yes.
And our characters are cooler than the Hunger Games characters anyway.
And you're also not trying to necessarily kill other players, but I guess you could.
Yeah, that's the nice part.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Yeah.
You're mostly just I guess you are killing past players who've already died, whose souls have been resurrected and are fighting against you. But so that's Labyrinth. Let me know if I'm talking too fast or or if you want me to stop or want to say something yourselves.
I feel like it's going good. Right?
Cool.
Yeah. Don't forget that if the audience has questions, you can also call out.
Yeah, I'm not
Like,
monitoring
no.
TikTok, but I am monitoring Twitch a little bit. I don't see anything on Twitch.
Well, how about you check up on TikTok? Maybe you have questions there.
Yeah.
I don't see anything on
Aw.
TikTok.
Okay.
I can just keep the TikTok one open. I just did the hello on TikTok.
Cool. I'll try to get open my phone. My phone died. I'll try to get TikTok open though in a second. Sometimes there's also things that show up for the admin that don't show up for others. So I'll double check that.
After we handle all of the lore and maybe a little bit about the characters, maybe we can go through some of the rules for Daggerheart and explain those as well.
Yeah, definitely. Let's do it. Cool. I have let's see. There's some stuff about the Labyrinth and its past, which I could reveal over time. It is in that Goldspire Territories area, but it might be better to kind of reveal it as your characters progress. So there are some dark history about the Labyrinth and stuff like that. Because these labyrinths were introduced in actually P2K, and they're actually a reoccurring thing all over the world, and there's a history, and they come from past civilizations.
I didn't even know that.
Mysterious.
Should we talk about the corporations a little bit, or should we go into other lore?
Yes, let's talk about the corporations a little bit.
Okay. So we already mentioned Kazrak Industries. The other corporation is Mithril and Mortar. Mithril and Mortar does make weapons. They are known for weaponry, particularly magical weaponry and physical weaponry. They're also known for steampunk machinery and golems. But they're mostly known for real estate. They are the real estate champions. If you want to own land or have a building, you have to go through Mithril and Mortar. They are always trying to sell you timeshares, always trying to sell you castles and everything like that. And you'll encounter them in the dungeon as the weapon shops. And when you encounter them, you'll be able to buy weapons. The next corporation is Hexmart. Hexmart is sort of like your Walmart, your Costco. They're like the cheap budget magical goods. They sell potions, all your magical items that you find, but mostly potions and elixirs, all come from Hexmart. And flavor-wise, those potions could blow you up at any moment. Like, they're not reliable at all. Mechanically, they act normally. But maybe as we progress, as things get more difficult, I might add a percentage chance for them to react. But as of right now, they're fine and safe for you guys to drink mechanically. But flavor-wise, they could blow up in your face at any moment.
Well, would it be enough, like... Well, I know it would depend on the situation, but are they potentially, like, lethal? Like, what's the scale of, like, damage they would do if they blew up?
Nothing mechanically right now. It's all flavor, and it would just be comical at this point. So they would just comically fail, or it might disrupt. But mechanically, nothing's gonna happen, and they'll always do the effect they're intended to do. And unless we agreed upon a narrative reason for them to do otherwise. For flavor or role play, but there's no side effects for drinking potions in the world, unless it clearly stated so, and then so on average majority of time there's no side effect. But flavor wise, Hexmart makes really cheaply hexed and poorly vexed potions. And comically they always come out cursed or not working properly. Like the wizard that kind of pops up in the stream occasionally. Potion of explosive healing. Guaranteed 90% of the time to not explode. And Then there's like Soulspire Solutions. This is the company that tried to get you to sign that secret clause when you're coming into the dungeon. And I'm not going to get into how souls work in this universe as a whole thing, but Soulspire Solutions claims that there's a propaganda that when you die in this world, you're dead permanently, which is a false claim. Soulspire Solutions feeds off that propaganda and says, hey, we can make you immortal and we can resurrect you every time you die. You just need to sign on this dotted line. But then when you go and die and you get resurrected, there's a huge fee, like a 5-chest fee, and most people can't pay that fee, so then they end up their soul ends up working for Soulspire Solutions until they're able to pay that fee.
However, do mention inflation, because it only gets worse with time.
Yep. Exactly. And then there's RuneSpark Entertainment. They're the ones that broadcast you guys to the entire world, or not to the entire world, but onto the known world and to wherever the reach the corporation has in Goldspire territories. And they're a fantastical fantasy enchantment broadcasting and communication service. And they also like provide your orbs that you guys have, and they play ads on that like all the time, flavor wise. Like they're constantly playing ads in your little communication orbs you have. Like you'll be in the middle of a battle trying to communicate, and I could probably use a fear token to like suddenly have an ad disrupt your communication or whatever. With an ad, with a advertisement. But they kind of sell you guys as personas and make you guys heroes, make you famous, and they interview you, and they will probably do recaps of like the events that have happened, things like that. And then there's a bunch of minor corporations. The only one of the minor corporations that is important to probably know is Goldwater Financial Institute. I'll talk about more of them later, but you'll encounter them in the maze, and when you do, you can deposit your money. Mechanically, there's not really any side effects to doing it, and you can put your money there and have it like stored there in case you die or something happens to you, and then you can come back to that and withdraw your money from the bank. It's like a bank service. And there's also they also give you interest. So if you store enough money, you can earn interest on your gold that you store there. But I'll talk about more about them later. But they're basically the financial institution for all of Goldspire Air territories, and they also cover other parts of the world. That they're in my other campaigns as well, and you can actually convert your currency to other currencies as well through them. Any questions on the corporations?
Not so far.
Okay.
I think I'm all good too.
Is there any specific questions you have on the universe lore?
Well, a lot, but they are
maze
more.
And
Yeah.
One at a time. Can go finish. What did you say, Amber?
No. Let Mike Star go first.
Okay, go ahead, Mike Star.
sorry, I just was. My question was more of a joke. I asked if the maze ends.
You don't know. You gotta find
Do
out.
we ever get out of this capitalist hellscape?
It's called a rat maze for a reason, or a rat wheel.
What? We're trapped. I never signed my soul away. Okay. But did you have any questions, Amber?
Well, in the scope of the backstory for my character, maybe, but we can discuss that later to make it more in depth and interesting.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything specific about that would pertain to your character, unless your character is religious. In my world, there's no... gods and deities are different terms. So deities are referred to as any powerful being, and it doesn't have to be a god. Gods refer to specific creatures that gain their power through worship or belief. So people who worship them, those are referred to as gods. And there's another type of deity called endless, which are the embodiment of universal concepts like time, love, justice, and they draw their power through belief in those ideas. rather than in worship of themselves, like gods do. So they, like, if you just believe an idea, then you generate the endless. And then patrons and matrons are like deities who get their success or survival from their power from the success and survival of specific factions or species or beings. So the specific success or survival of like whole species power patrons and matrons. And so deities work a little bit different in my system, but I don't think that's going to come up for a very long time because you guys are only level 1.
We're babies.
Yep. And the planet you're on, Terra, is the size of Jupiter. So it's a massive planet, and it's split into 2 hemispheres, the north and the south. And in between these 2 hemispheres is a massive ocean, a very, very dangerous ocean that barely anybody crosses. But more and more people are finding ways to communicate to the other hemisphere. But it's a really big planet. Even though for this particular campaign, things are very lighthearted, comedic, mechanics are easy and simple, and that's how I want to keep it. So I want to be very careful about adding homebrew, because I want to keep things light and simple and fun, lighthearted. The world, or the universe in general, is like hard magic system. So the majority of the beings you come across, which isn't going to matter for your guys' campaign because of the lightheartedness, but the majority of the beings you come across are going to be negative level. Like the average individual, the peasants are all like negative level 10, right? They're not like, they're very, very weak. And, but your corporations kind of keep this propaganda of comedy going to make things lighthearted and seem fun and things like that. And they kind of control the power to themselves. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. And then there's a whole thing about like how souls operate, but I don't know if you want to get into that right now. That can be kind of revealed over time if it becomes relevant.
Yeah.
That's good.
If you go to the Terra channel and locations channel, and under Terra, you can see where Goldspire Territories is compared to the rest of the world. So there's an entire map of the Jupiter-sized world, and then you can see that Goldspire Territories is just that purple, a part of that purple region that the arrow points at.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. It's almost approaching 11 o'clock. Do you guys have any other questions on the lore, on anything I talked about?
No, this is fun. I think it's going good. Amber, did you have any other questions?
No.
Okay. Do we want to take a break then, and then come back and dive into the campfire questions and the RP between you guys?
Yes,
Yeah.
but did we want to also say a little bit about Daggerheart rules, or will we do that later?
Yes. Do you want to do that Daggerheart rules before we take the break or after the break?
We can do it after the break if you guys want.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do that.
Cool.
Okay.
Sounds
Be
good.
right back.
Yep.
I'm gonna set up a new scene for the break.
Oh my god, the music switched to the perfect one. It's elevator.
Nice. It'll go away for a second because I am doing an ad break. And the screen will be blank for a little bit with no audio. Let's see.
Adventurers, do you have what it takes to... Adventurers, do you have what it takes to conquer Kazrak's Labyrinth trials of worth? Step into the challenge, claim glory, and earn your license to greatness. But remember, danger is just another opportunity, an opportunity to profit. Kazrak Industries, where danger meets profit.
Kazrak Industries, we're paving the way. We're so fire, it might survive. Danger and profit keep the dream alive. Kazrak's the name, we're changing the game. Your adventure starts with our claim to fame. Trials and treasure, a dwarf-approved feat, where danger and profit are destined to meet. Step into the maze, where legends are made. Kazrak Industries, we're paving the way. We are so fine it might survive. Danger and profit keep the dream alive. Kazrak's the name, we're changing the game. Your adventure starts with our claim to fame. Trials and treasure, a dwarf-approved feat, where danger and profit are destined to meet.
Adventurers, do you have what it takes to conquer Kazrak's Labyrinth trials of worth? Step into the challenge, claim glory, and earn your license to greatness. But remember, danger is just another opportunity, an opportunity to profit. Kazrak Industries, where danger meets profit.
Kazrak Industries, we're paving the way. We're so fire, it might survive. Danger and profit keep the dream alive. Kazrak's the name, we're changing the game. Your adventure starts with our claim to fame. Trials and treasure, a dwarf-approved feat, where danger and profit are destined to meet. Step into the maze, where legends are made. Kazrak Industries, we're paving the way. We are so fine it might survive. Danger and profit keep the dream alive. Kazrak's the name, we're changing the game. Your adventure starts with our claim to fame. Trials and treasure, a dwarf-approved feat, where danger and profit are destined to meet.
Adventurers, do you have what it takes to conquer Kazrak's Labyrinth trials of worth? Step into the challenge, claim glory, and earn your license to greatness. But remember, danger is just another opportunity, an opportunity to profit. Kazrak Industries, where danger meets profit.
Kazrak Industries, we're paving the way. We're so fire, it might survive. Danger and profit keep the dream alive. Kazrak's the name, we're changing the game. Your adventure starts with our claim to fame. Trials and treasure, a dwarf-approved feat, where danger and profit are destined to meet. Step into the maze, where legends are made. Kazrak Industries, we're paving the way. We are so fine it might survive. Danger and profit keep the dream alive. Kazrak's the name, we're changing the game. Your adventure starts with our claim to fame. Trials and treasure, a dwarf-approved feat, where danger and profit are destined to meet.
Adventurers, do you have what it takes to conquer Kazrak's Labyrinth trials of worth? Step into the challenge, claim glory, and earn your license to greatness. But remember, danger is just another opportunity, an opportunity to profit. Kazrak Industries, where danger meets profit.
Kazrak Industries, we're paving the way. We're so fire, it might survive. Danger and profit keep the dream alive. Kazrak's the name, we're changing the game. Your adventure starts with our claim to fame. Trials and treasure, a dwarf-approved feat, where danger and profit are destined to meet. Step into the maze, where legends are made. Kazrak Industries, we're paving the way. We are so fine and might survive. Danger and profit keep the dream alive. Kazrak's the name, we're changing the game. Your adventure starts with our claim to fame. Trials and treasure, a dwarf-approved feat, where danger and profit are destined to meet.
Adventurers, do you have what it takes to conquer Kazrak's Labyrinth trials of worth? Step into the challenge, claim glory, and earn your license to greatness. But remember, danger is just another opportunity, an opportunity to profit. Kazrak Industries, where danger meets profit.
Kazrak Industries, we're paving the way. We're so fine, it might survive. Danger and profit keep the dream alive. Kazrak's the name, we're changing the game. Your adventure starts with our claim to fame. Trials and treasure, a dwarf-approved feat, where danger and profit are destined to meet.
Yep.
Audio is not being picked
There
up.
we go.
There we go. Okay. We should. Okay, you can go ahead. Go ahead, Amber.
Hell yeah. Welcome back, everybody. We are back, and in the best corpo fashion, we are gonna do a shout out to the Daggerheart system. They are having a playtest, so if you want to experience firsthand how the new system might look in the future, go and take a look at the Daggerheart. I do not remember the URL, but you all are skilled people, so go on Google and type in Daggerheart, find them, and play them. Have fun. This is vaguely based on and inspired by their system, so please do give the creators a follow, a shout out, and a gratitude for developing a new cool system. And back to you.
Perfect. Excellent. Loved it. Microstar, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, so far it's just been really fun, more dynamic gameplay. It's been fun. I've had more fun, like feeling like our GM is like a player, and the character creation process is super fun. It helps you connect with your party, even when the characters are like brand new to each other, or you're like playing together the first time. It feels like they already know each other, so that's been really fun too.
Yeah, 100%.
Those are my add-ons.
100% agree. Yeah, I feel like if you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like you guys constantly feel like you're closer to death without it really being, though, a bad thing. Like, there's a lot of tools you guys can use to like circumvent death, but you have to like kind of strategically use them.
Yeah, I agree with that. And then what was the other thing I was gonna say? Oh, I lost it because I got into what you were saying. But yeah, it's just been really fun and refreshing sort of system to play, and it wasn't that hard to adapt to either.
Maybe in the future we'll go over the rules in more detail, but as of right now, I think Amber mentioned this is an open beta, so the rules might change. And there's lots of instructions and videos out there to help you with the rules if you are interested in the current beta rules. Cool. So we're gonna do some RP right now. We're missing a player Razor. So we're just gonna do some like RP between Microstar and Amber, campfire questions / character connections, slightly inspired by the Daggerheart system, but also Campfire has been a thing for a while now in the homebrew community for D&D. But this is going to be kind of RP wise the players have just kind of finished. Well, actually, how about before we start this campfire questions, why don't we do a short recap of what happened last session? Amber or Microstar, do you want to guys talk about a little bit of what your experience was last session and what happened?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
If you need help, I did a recap in the recap channel on Discord. You can use to jog your memory or as a guide.
Yeah. Let me grab that. What I do know is that Amber, Galadriel, and Microstar, we have history together, but the maze was a new undertaking, and
Yeah.
I do remember that Amber cleverly circumvented the contract we were gonna sign and added her own clause, which is a superpower move. Amber, what was the clause you added again?
I added the clause about the fact that all of the loot that I will find will be mine and mine alone, and also some other things about me just finding stuff in the dungeon, and also that I take no responsibility for any of the damage dealt to said dungeon. However, they found it, and I'm kind of in debt now, even more than I was before. So, we will see if the payoff is worth the trouble.
And also, I don't know if
Yep.
you saw the employee that let you do that got reassigned, and I put that in quotes. So they essentially
Yep.
got fired.
Yep. I mean, it's nothing personal. I'm sure he'll be happy in the future.
Wait,
And-
I just realized, should we introduce the characters before we do the recap, or do you think they've been introduced enough during their commercial break?
Yeah, you can talk about your characters if you want. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yep. Whatever you feel
Alright.
inspired to do. You can introduce
Alright.
Microstar.
I'll introduce Microstar, then Amber, you should introduce Amber, but Microstar is a fungal, wild-born wizard from the School of Knowledge. And Microstar was originally a wandering research scientist, very free-spirited, very curious, pretty feisty too. Microstar does not like the way the capitalist machine has encroached on the mycelial network, and I think there's a little bit of a competing growth aspect there. And I'm still learning about Microstar, but I think Microstar and Amber are kind of like troublemakers together. They're like little partners in crime. And Microstar is pretty radical and against the whole capitalist machine. I think Microstar's goal in the Labyrinth is to just destroy the machine from within. And then Amber, you should tell us about you.
Yes. Well, Amber is a halfling. Rogue, a Slyborn halfling rogue. So she has some criminal activities. We even met her friend in the dungeon, which is Jerry the skeleton. Yeah, still wild. When you meet your friend and it's a skeleton now. She has been banished from her hometown for trying to get a mayor's seal on the project that would help in a local orphanage. And then she was turned to a life full of crime. And now, in search of some money, she found herself in this corporation. She may or may not have been in corporations before, and God knows what she gave and did for those. So far, this is the main thing.
Perfect. Does one of you want to introduce Razor? Talk about the player that isn't here right now.
Yeah. We're still learning all about each other and our characters. But Galadriel, pull up my drive. I don't remember Galadriel's full background off the top of my head. Give me 1 second. Galadriel is a
Something-
ridge-born giant seraph winged sentinel, and you can see like shield. I get the vibe that Galadrin's kind of like it's like a little bit of a fiery personality and like really big on like melee attacks. And really likes flying to maneuver through the traps and different enemies we encounter. But powerful dude. Glad to have a tall king on our side since me and Amber are kind of shorties. What else do you know about him, Amber?
I know that he tried to tell me about his god. I only half
Oh
listened.
yeah. Yeah, Michael Star kind of is like polite about the god thing too, but has kind of more of their own core beliefs. Yeah, we'll be excited when Galadrin joins us, but we're just kind of tinkering around today.
Yep.
So.
Doing a little bit of stream testing, getting kind of used to streaming while also playing at the same time and getting used to that and making sure we're all comfortable with it. And then also, just kind of getting familiar with the system and with the background and lore.
Okay. Yeah, I meant to suggest the character intros and then we were in the recap and I was like, wait. So those are kind of the vibes of our characters.
Cool. And we officially start streaming January 19th, 2 Sundays from now. And then, let's get back into the recap of what happened last time.
We jumped into the maze. Merry band of heroes, I guess. And, Amber circumvented the contract. They tried to make us sign immediately. We waived the insurance, right? That they wanted us to take.
Yeah, we didn't take anything.
Yeah, everything has a cost, and we were fined for not having the proper insurance or license or whatever. And we dealt with a lot of traps. We had some encounters with some NPCs, and we fought them off. And then Amber, you should tell them, about seeing Jerry again.
Sorry?
Oh, I said you should tell them about when we saw Jerry and how you
Yes.
convinced Jerry to join us.
One of the first big obstacles on our path that we have encountered was a skeleton spawner, and usually there are many rules as to how you can defeat the spawner, either by defeating all of the skeletons and breaking the spawner itself, or by somehow talking your way into not fighting them, basically. Lo and behold, when Ember went to scout out who it was and maybe sneak up a stab or two, she recognized a skeleton by his voice, namely being Jerry, her acquaintance from her previous job, who ended up signing up to the dungeon, missing the clause about sacrificing his soul, and now he's here, tied to the skeleton, with a depth of, was it 3 or 10 chests of gold?
It's mostly flavor, but I think he said 3 chests at the time. But
it doesn't matter. The price goes up all the time. Every single day that he's in there, it's piling up because of inflation. So it doesn't really matter. We promised him that we will try to get the money, because what they really want is they just want to escape, and they want their way out of it. We said that we will try. We said that we will try to help them get it. However, even in our contracts, they did specify that, like, hey, we are taking basically everything that you find in this labyrinth, so good luck.
Yeah.
But yeah, so far Jerry's sticking around.
Yep.
It was at that...
Oh, go ahead, Microstar.
I was going to say it was at that point when we were recruiting Jerry that we kind of realized, it wasn't clear at first, but we realized that a lot of the creatures we're fighting may also be victims that are like indentured or forced to be there. So we've kind of had to think about how comfortable we are killing them. But then the next group we were in was like really excited to take us down. So I think we had to be a little more ruthless at that point. But it may be a little case by case on how the groups are doing, depending on sometimes what we overhear them talking about.
Oh yeah. In the next encounter, Ember almost died because we were fighting a bunch of goblins.
Yep.
Yeah. That was scary.
Yeah, that was scary. And then our sneaks kind of failed.
True.
Because Micah Star, being Wildborn, has a quiet step, so can sneak without being detected, without any extra actions. But even I kind of failed. So yeah, and then Galadrin was carrying Amber up the ridge to fight the boss, and then that didn't really work out too well either. um, that's what I was gonna say about the system earlier, was the whole like initiative thing and the turn order. It's very different than 5e that I have the most experience playing, and it kind of allows us to strategize and be more cohesive as a party, I feel. The turn system. We don't have to go into all the mechanics or rules now because I know we moved past that, but that was what I was going to say earlier, is I've really enjoyed that aspect of like planning our turns together, even if the roles don't work out.
Yeah, it's surprisingly really balanced too, and I don't think that translates well over to the D20 system. I think it's like balanced because of that 2D12 and the fear and hope, and it really kind of feels engaging and just very like dynamic. And I can imagine though it not working with it being harder with bigger groups, and then it not working with like toxic players, or like not necessarily toxic, but like with more outspoken players versus like shy players.
Yeah, that's what they said on like one of the review videos, was like less like socially aware players like might struggle or might crowd a bit with this kind of turn system, but it worked really well for the group we had last time.
Yeah. Cool. Um, okay. That's kind of the recap of what happened last time. And that was like, um, a lot of fantastic. It was we barely got through the maze, but it was fine. It was a kind of a pre-session 0, a little bit of a test to see if you wanted to do this campaign, and it was still really fun. And I'm sure that's about as far as we'll get each time because of how much there is to do. But you guys got some awesome loot, fought some cool badass bosses, mini bosses, and defeated some NPCs, but also took some cool, like Jerry, and took some cool ways to negotiate with the enemies instead of fighting them. On the companion channel, Amber, it says that Jerry owes 7 chests. But he was also charged with additional chests for going and working with you.
True.
So his total debt is 10 chests, because he was also charged for grabbing the Warhammer.
Yeah, forgot to mention that. We gave him a warhammer as intimidation tactics because he cannot swing it.
Yeah.
He has a disadvantage.
Yeah.
He's too skinny.
Yeah, we got a weapon necessarily thrilled about.
Yeah, nobody could use it.
Oh, and we also realized that the shopkeepers are also pretty indentured, too, because we tried to haggle and they became really afraid of how they were gonna feed their families. So the whole setting is very dynamic. And Micah Star tried to share some shrooms, but all they wanted was processed sugar. So Micah Star just is settling for leaving their spores around the maze and hoping they come to fruition and start to create their own kind of network.
Yeah. Exactly. Trying to get Okay. Okay, so let's do. I was trying to share my live stream, but it's like being really weird on TikTok. Okay. Let's do campfire questions.
Yay.
So as you guys, last time, what immediately happened last time is you guys fought this goblin mini boss. Then you came back through the portal that you went through to get to the mini boss fight. And you got your treasure, you collected your items, the reward for the fight. You paid your little tax for collecting the treasure, and we ended the session. And right after the end of the session, a little interview orb came out of nowhere and just flew over to you, a little magical orb. And on the screen appears this individual, a sharply dressed gnome or elf, you're not quite sure. They have very pointed ears. It's hard to tell their height on the screen. And they call themselves Glimmer Goldtongue. And they're a popular live, I put that in quotes, host for the corporation of RuneSpark Entertainment. And they oftentimes do interviews of heroes. And they say, "Greetings, fearless adventurers! I am Glimmer Goldtongue here, bringing you the latest, the greatest stories straight from Kazrak's Labyrinth's Trial of Worth. To your adoring audience, your recent victory has everyone buzzing at home, and I'm here to ask the questions that matter." The orb briefly flickers, revealing a RuneSpark Entertainment watermark and a cheerful tagline, "Where heroes become stars." TM. Then it snaps back into focus. Glimmer then asks a series of interview questions. These ones you guys can kind of skim through. I know that Amber has answered a few of them. You can talk about your answers, Amber. If you have an answer, Microstar, you can feel free to give your own answer as well.
Yeah.
But the question that matters is the audience submission question, but we'll first do these like silly questions first. And the first one he asks is, he says, kind of puts the microphone up to Amber, or the orb gets closer to Amber, and he's like, "What was going through your mind as you faced that mini boss? Fear, excitement, a sudden craving for a Hexmart potion?"
Oh, no. What was going through my mind was a song, "Oh No Mama, I'm in Trouble Again," by Blina Preeks the Bard. Look out for him in your local taverns, because he might visit. It is a half-elf with a painted lute. Don't miss him. Be sure to be there for his next ballad. And she turns to the camera, quote-unquote camera, and winks.
And your answer scrolls across the bottom of the screen with some filters for non-corporate approved words. It slightly changes a little bit as it gets submitted to the audience, but you don't know that. "Oh no, Mama! I'm in trouble again. A classic tune," says the Glimmer. By Blin Black's the Bard. I know him really well. Now climbing the charts thanks to Amber, and it's suddenly an ad for the song. Buy now for 3 bags. Limited time offer. Sponsored by Amber herself. Thanks for the endorsement, Amber. Catch Bimbacks on their Mischief of Melodies tour coming soon. And you see like a trending chart, and they're suddenly trending really high, that band. Coming soon to a tavern near you. And then, Microstar, what was going through your head in the mini-bis fight? How about you? Did you have a craving for a Hexmart potion at any time? Do you have a response, Microstar?
Sorry. Which question was it?
The first question.
The first one still?
Yep.
Yeah, the first one? Okay. When we got into the boss, I was kind of pissed because, if you can believe it, we had to pay a fee to fight a boss, which was ridiculous. But as we went in, we were able to sneak. So, I was just really focused on the terrain and how we could make it out of this and use all our strengths together to defeat them. Um, so I wasn't too afraid. I was just I just wanted us to all work together and take them down.
You can see that like some of your response, well, you don't see it, I think, but when your response gets sent to the audience, it says you were excited to pay the corporate tax. It like changes what you said to the audience. And then
That's all lies.
And then the host says, as you know, everyone, there's a lot of cost to maintaining this wonderful labyrinth, and the heroes are happy to pay the cost for their experience.
I forget, did we haggle the cost to fight the mini boss, or was that something else?
You did haggle it, yeah.
We did haggle, yeah.
I didn't want to pay the full price because that was ludicrous, but that was the employee that did say he was worried about feeding his family, so I haggled it down to half, but I also did provide him with some fresh homegrown mushrooms.
Mushroom. Yes.
Or maybe some tasty soups or sides or salads. Some wild homegrown mushrooms. Homegrown.
The host is like, make sure you only eat corporate approved produce, as any unknown produce could who knows what that unknown produce is carrying. All corporate approved produce is GMO approved. With all the substance and nutrition and that you need. And then he goes on and he says, second question I have here for you. If you could describe your fighting style in one word, what would it be? And why would this be marketable? Pulls into Amber.
She folds her arms over her chest and she says to the orb, I am not marketable, I am deadly. And she turns away. She will not say anything else.
The host says, not marketable, huh? You heard it here first, fans. Amber is deadly. RuneSpark would like to remind you, viewers, that all deadly antics are performed by trained professionals in the Kazrak approved environments. Do not attempt it without proper licensing. Microstar, what do you have to say?
Well, I'm not in the business of being marketable either. But to answer your question, I would say my fighting style is wild, in tune with nature, and the network, which I'm always connected to, no matter what kind of concrete walls we find ourselves in the maze. I'll always be connected to the network, so watch out.
Ah, that's really interesting. But remember, corporate loyalty is number one.
Whatever you want to tell yourselves.
You're racking up victories left and right. What messages would you like to send to your fans watching at home? Keep it inspiring and corporate friendly.
Ember smirks into the camera and gets real close, and she says, always be up for some mischief, and she pats her nose with the tip of her index finger, and only people who know thieves can know what the gesture means. And she winks.
The screen shows your Amber tapping your nose, the magic subtlety, and the sly message glowing in thieves' can't symbols. Mischief! It's a lifestyle, but only the cleverest adventurers will catch the real meaning behind that gesture. Amber, you're a star. Thanks for making RuneSpark history with those answers. Now, anything to say, Microstar, for yourself?
Yes. For the viewers at home, don't believe everything you're told. Question everything. Don't go outside. Feel the dirt on your toes. Don't watch all these commercials. Turn your TVs off. Feel future.
And the Glimmer's like, oh, it looks like we're having some connection issues. Oh, it looks like we're being interrupted. Sorry, we're being sorry, Microstar, that didn't quite go through. But Microstar said that they love the corporation and have great admiration for everything that Kazrak Industry does, and keep attached to your screens. Thanks for your amazing heroic adventures. Oh, it looks like we have an audience-submitted question. Now, what a special treat. We're opening the floor to the audience. Hand selected from the magical pile of fan submissions. Leora briefly glitches as a voice pipes in. What is your opinion on corporate Oh, the question cut off briefly. Glimmer clears his throat, visibly uncomfortable. That question isn't corporate approved. Moving on. The orb spins and lands on a new question. Here's a fantastic question from one of our top-tier RuneSpark subscribers. Drum roll, please. Glimmer tilts their heads, inquisitively says, tilts his heads, and what is something surprising you dug up in the dirt? And Amber, you will answer for Microstar, and Microstar, you will answer for Amber. What is something that you saw? More clarification on the question. What is something did you... so, Amber, what is something that you saw Microstar dig up from the earth and why? And then same thing for you, Microstar. But Amber, you can go first.
Okay, so one of the weirdest things that I have seen Microstar dig up was probably a human skull when we were digging a hole to no reason in particular. You see, usually it's like roots and mushrooms, so that is what I have come to expect. But this time it was a human skull. I think we were not supposed to dig under that tree. Now that I think about it, but then again, since nobody knows where it is, it was the safest place to... Anyway, yes, it's a human skull.
The life of a pre-adventurer can be dangerous. Go ahead, Microstar, sorry.
Death and rot are part of the life cycle, Amber. There's nothing to be weirded out about or afraid of.
I know, but that was the most interesting thing that you have ever dug up. I think.
Fair enough. I wasn't expecting that either. And you're right, we probably shouldn't have been digging there, but you know.
But it was worth it though. It was worth it in
the
end. Make sure to get that written down for yourselves. And
oh, don't worry, I'll remember.
Any other RP with that answer, Microstar, that you want to say to Amber?
Well, we did put it back afterwards, so hopefully that person's soul or burial, goes on through the trees. And I also left a few spores down there. So now maybe maybe they'll join the network. Always open to friendly, communal based life. To join the network.
This is how you were born?
Maybe. I mean, I know that I know somebody was spreading the network when I was born, when I was a little fungal spore. But we don't always meet the ones who seeded us. We're wandering people, so it just kind of came to be one day, with my siblings. So
That's so cool.
I know fungirl life is different than a lot of regular humanoid life. So.
A brief anti commune, anti what's the word I'm looking for?
Like a warning, sort of?
No, the word for that government structure that the mycelium is, or in slang referred to as, or not slang, but communism. Anti-communism commercial pops up, saying how dangerous it is to leave the corporate capitalist world, and the Glimmer says we have a brief commercial break, and then that kind of pops up on the screen, and it shows like violence and death, and it has nothing to do at all with how your actual living is, and it shows a massive world destroyed, and it's like all of this is a result of communism. Please support your capitalist world, and the commercial goes away. And then Microstar, same question for you to answering for Amber. So Microstar, what did you see Amber dig up from the earth and why?
Well, I don't think I was supposed to see this, but one time it was kind of late, and I think Amber thought we were all sleeping, and I saw Amber wander off by herself, and I became kind of concerned, and so I followed behind a little bit, and I can't say too much about where we were, but I saw Amber digging up one of her stashes to add some treasure that we had gotten that day. And I knew Amber kept a lot of treasure, but I didn't know she had caches all along the routes we were camping out in. So I was really surprised to learn that Amber has her own kind of treasure system herself, spread throughout the area. Yeah. So it wasn't
She's like,
weird.
don't trust the bank.
Yeah, me and Amber, we both kind of have some of our own off-the-grid tendencies, and so I was a bit surprised to learn that we're similar in that way. But really pleased. I feel a very good company with Amber, and I support her doing her own wealth management system.
Thank you.
Okay. Do you have any other responses, Amber, that you want to add to?
No, but she gets visibly red in the face as soon as Microstar brings up a stash, and then she acts as if nothing is wrong and nothing happened, and she prays to God that nobody knows where it is. Well, actually, yeah, sure, praise to God. She doesn't know who, though, but she's just like, oh my God, please, please.
And Microstar doesn't quite resonate with your wealth hoarding, but also understands that we're from different lifestyles and systems, and also respects that accumulating wealth is part of survival in this society. Just Microstar is a lot less attached to the gold. That's why Microstar was the one that paid for the boss battle, because Microstar is whatever, gold comes and goes, whereas Amber is watching the numbers a bit more.
Oh, definitely.
It's a balance,
Yeah.
Yeah. After you're answering that question, a commercial comes on for Goldwater Financial Institution, and it goes, "We keep your money safe and earning interest. Always make sure to invest your money into Goldwater. So if money sitting in the ground is money not earning." And then it shows a bunch of stashes being stolen in the ground being stolen. In addition, stashes stolen in the ground are not safe or guaranteed protection by Goldwater. And then the commercial goes away. Cool. Any other flavors you guys want to add, or RP?
Yeah, I had an idea that maybe after that night when Micah Star saw Amber with her stash, that Micah Star helped Amber develop a system to track them even more with like planting different mushrooms. To kind of be like a marker that only they would recognize.
Nice.
That
Yeah.
would be great. Yeah.
I mean, Amber had it managed, but it's just that we're getting so much loot in the maze now that
It might be
just like
necessary.
keeping track a little more. Yeah.
So because of that past, I'm gonna give you guys, if you remember, there are like spots that I have where there are buried treasure, and if you guys roll a high enough presence, then you can unlock those. You can see the buried locations, and you can unbury them. And so if you guys remember, you get a +1 to your perception of identifying those buried treasures locations.
Oh, cool.
To your
Because of the
perception.
system that we have.
I don't know about the system,
Or
but
why?
Just because of your background with burying stuff.
Oh, cool. All right.
So you get +1 to identify, to see something when it's buried. Perception when something is buried.
Nice.
And
Man, let me write it down.
yeah, so you just need to remind me. And it's okay if you forget, but that means there'll just be 2 different numbers. There'll be one for like traps and generic, and another one +1, one for specifically buried treasure. Or it probably might be easier for me just to collectively lower the DCs for discovering the treasures. Maybe I'll just do that. Cool. So we have 2 options right now. We can either wrap up, because we are approaching the top of the hour again, and we can kind of do conclusions, do stars and wishes, and then just end the stream and then talk amongst each other for as long as we wanted to. Or we can take a break and then do another campfire question. What are you guys feeling like doing?
I'm fine with both.
Yeah, I would be up for another campfire question.
Okay.
I appreciate the break, but I actually feel like I could do another question before one. But what do you think, Amber?
Yeah, I also can do one before break.
Okay, cool. Let's do it then. Okay, so I have I have like these in person. That's what I mean by hard. But I have these in person questions that I will draw from, and it'll be the same kind of thing. Amber, you'll ask the question to Microstar, or Microstar, you'll ask the question to Amber. Okay, so Amber, what is a time that Microstar was in danger but didn't know it?
Was in danger but didn't know it. Probably when we were in a kitchen once, and we were resting in a corner and somebody took her as a big mushroom, and I had to trip a cook over so that he doesn't approach us with a knife. Maybe then. Yeah, he wanted to eat you.
You know, it happens more often than you'd think with these humanoid creatures. They're not enlightened. A lot of them have never seen a wild-born fungrel, and they just like think they can take and take. But all I can say is it was nice to see a human making a home-cooked meal from scratch. Um,
Yeah, but hopefully without you in it.
Yeah, and hopefully without me. If they just asked, I had mushrooms I could have given, but it was kind of funny when you tripped that guy. So I didn't end up offering any of my shrooms that day. But it's so funny.
Okay. Microstar, what was a time that Amber was in danger but didn't know it?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I think Amber was shopping for a new dagger, and we were at a weapons shop, and Microstar was a little distracted because Microstar tends to not really be like on the weapons. Like Microstar uses a great staff, but was mostly just there to just hang out with Amber. And Amber was in danger of getting ripped off. No matter what she did, she couldn't bring the price down on that dagger that she wanted. And so, Micah Star used their prestidigitation, which for anyone that doesn't know, it's kind of like thaumaturgy in D&D, performing harmless, subtle magical effects. So Micah Star started shaking the store, and I gave Amber the chance to sneak steal the dagger while the shopkeep was terrified, and they ran out together. And Amber had a new weapon, and that wasn't the best answer to the question.
It worked.
Amber
No,
was
it was great. Because that's a dagger that I use now. Look, and she pulls out the
Star's always
dagger
looking out
from
for
her
deal.
sheath.
Yeah.
She's like, this is the main dagger that I used since then.
It was a huge upgrade. It was just before the maze, and we were stocking
Yeah.
up.
I really needed it at that time too.
I like how in both our scenarios we saved each other.
Yeah.
Bam. Okay, I finally got the question on the screen for the stream. Took me a while,
Yay.
Hell yeah.
but while you guys were talking, I did that. Cool. Any other flavor you want to add to that answer, Amber? That Microstar said.
No.
What does your main dagger look like, Amber?
Great question. It is a pretty silvery looking dagger with a little bit of a curved blade, kind of like an S, sort of like curved like a snake. It is a very well-made hilt, wrapped in leather and stamped with a great mark that says that it's from a very good blacksmith. And also on the leather strip on the hilt, she kind of like scratched out, probably with either a needle or something else, a little letter A, to mark that this is Amber's dagger. And she also drew a little mushroom on the other side of it.
Yay, BFFs.
What is better than friendship bracelet? Friendship daggers.
Friendship dagger, heck yes. Well, there's something that Micah Star has called hand runes that I haven't used yet because I don't really understand how it works, so maybe we'll look at it sometime together, Kyle. But it's my secondary weapon, and I guess it's like something that lets me like cast spells and they're like on my hands, like the runes are on my hands. So if you have a mushroom on your dagger, I'm gonna have a dagger like etched on my hands as part of my hand runes, even though I can't use
Oh, that's so sweet.
them.
Perfect. I love it. Okay, so this isn't a campfire question, but this is a more direct question. If you guys are interested in answering it now, you can. Otherwise, you can just say you want it to organically be flushed out more. But how did Microstar and Amber meet?
Oh, that would be a great question.
I feel like, okay, I this is just like we can zoom in on it together, but I have this idea that like maybe we didn't know each other, but we were in like kind of like how we had that other creation connection of like pickpocketing in like a business district. Like I feel like maybe we were going after like the same target or something like that. And like we kind of messed up each other's plan, but we were both like kind of like had mutual respect for each other. But
Yeah.
I don't have more details than that. Do you have any ideas based on that or a different idea?
Yeah, no, I love that because that would also explain why you both are in the labyrinth now. Because probably for Amber, since she started working for this sort of like not a little corporation, but basically for this not even cartel also, but for this
Syndicate?
organization in the city.
Is it Syndicate? Maybe.
Well, probably the syndicate. I'll leave it up to you.
Yeah.
She started working for them, and that was one of her jobs. Maybe even a job qualifier. I don't know. I'm not sure. And she kind of botched it, but she saw your skill in your silent approach, and you
Oh yeah.
really impressed Ember with your skills. And yeah, she's like, yeah, no, fuck them. I have a friend now. And so, after failing that pickpocketing mission, she wasn't particularly happily accepted in the community again. So, she just turned around and went to the dungeon where she was very surprised and happy to see you again.
Yay. Yeah, and then Micah Star wasn't necessarily pickpocketing the target. But well, Micah Star was trying to like steal their identity so that she could like their identifications so that they could get access to like some kind of like high level like building access to like sabotage a corporation. That was Micah Star's motivation. But then when they both failed their mission because I think we got caught. But Micah Star was also impressed with your approach and realized that they'd been going at their mission to stop these corporations alone for long enough, and that's actually like not their way of life. Like they're very communal person with the their background with the network, and so they realized that they would be stronger with a partner. And so yeah, and then we got into our arts and crafts and manufacturing our fake corporate credits together.
Yeah. Yeah.
We started our whole operations, and then that's when Amber eventually opened up and with the treasure network that we started tracking together.
Yes, I love that.
Nice. That's awesome. Perfect. What I was going to ask something. Oh, Amber, there are two as of right now there are two underground organizations that are known here in Gold Spire territories as well as otherwhere in the world. One of them is more of a assassinations guild syndicate, and the other one's a black market trade or smuggling service. One of them is the Midnight Cabal, which is the Assassinations Guild, and the other one is the Umbrand Consortium. Do you want to have it be either one of those syndicates, or do you want to have it be a different organization?
I think it would be the black market one.
Okay.
Because although Ember can hurt people, I don't see her as an outright murderer, at least right now. So
Perfect.
she would at least try to apply to the black market ones instead of the assassin ones.
Yeah. Cool. Elsewhere in the world, they are like, well, here too, they are completely black market, but even here in Goldspire territories, they've incorporated themselves. So even the black market syndicates are incorporated, and operate like a corporation. Perfect. How are you guys doing? Do we want to do another question?
I'm up for it. How are you feeling?
I'm totally down for another question. But can we do the break now?
Yeah, let's do it.
For like a minute or two.
Yeah, let's do it.
Thank you.
I'm going to put up break 2. We are going on break. Done. We'll go black for a second because I'm putting up the source for it. Two. Loop. Brown source. Assets.
Hexmart, your one-stop shop for potions, scrolls, and budget gear. Who needs premium when you've got practical? Our products are almost guaranteed to work, most of the time. Hexmart, for all your adventuring needs. Cheaply hexed, poorly vexed.
Grab a potion, grab a scroll. Hexmart deals are on a roll. Curses free with every bite. You laugh or cry, we won't ask why. Hexmart's here, the prices are low. Adventure gear with an unpredictable glow. For wizards, rogues, and clerics too. It's almost safe, but it's all for you. Hexmart's here, the prices are low. Adventure gear with an unpredictable glow. For wizards, rogues, and clerics too. It's almost safe, but it's all for you.
Hexmart, your one-stop shop for potions, scrolls, and budget gear. Who needs premium when you've got practical? Our products are almost guaranteed to work, most of the time. Hexmart, for all your adventuring needs. Cheaply hexed, poorly vexed.
Grab a potion, grab a scroll. Hexmart deals are on a roll. Curses free with every bite. You laugh or cry, we won't ask why. Hexmart's here, the prices are low. Adventure gear with an unpredictable glow. For wizards, rogues, and clerics too. It's almost safe, but it's all for you. Hexmart's here, the prices are low. Adventure gear with an unpredictable glow. For wizards, rogues, and clerics too. It's almost safe, but it's all for you.
Hexmart, your one-stop shop for potions, scrolls, and budget gear. Who needs premium when you've got practical? Our products are almost guaranteed to work, most of the time. Hexmart, for all your adventuring needs. Cheaply hexed, poorly vexed.
Grab a potion, grab a scroll. Hexmart deals are on a roll. Curses free with every bite. You laugh or cry, we won't ask why. Hexmart's here, the prices are low. Adventure gear with an unpredictable glow. For wizards, rogues, and clerics too. It's almost safe, but it's all for you. Hexmart's here, the prices are low. Adventure gear with an unpredictable glow. For wizards, rogues, and clerics too. It's almost safe, but it's all for you.
Hexmart, your one-stop shop for potions, scrolls, and budget gear. Who needs premium when you've got practical? Our products are almost guaranteed to work, most of the time. Hexmart, for all your adventuring needs. Cheaply hexed, poorly vexed.
Grab a potion, grab a scroll. Hexmart deals are on a roll. Curses free with every bite. You laugh or cry, we won't ask why. Hexmart's here, the prices are low. Adventure gear with an unpredictable glow. For wizards, rogues, and clerics too. It's almost safe, but it's all for you. Hexmart's here, the prices are low. Adventure gear with an unpredictable glow. For wizards, rogues, and clerics too. It's almost safe, but it's all for you.
Yeah.
We're back from that nice commercial break. Hexmart is a really great place to go for your potions. Whether you're a game master or a player, you should always purchase from Hexmart. Microstar and Amber, what is your experience with Hexmart products?
Well, they're a bit pricey and the employees seem a little stressed out. But they get the job done in a pinch.
Oh, Hexmart.
Can't really blame the employees.
Hexmart is guaranteed to be 50% cheaper than any of its competitors.
Microstar, do you remember if it was a Hexmart potion that I drank before the boss battle? I remember I drank a potion. I didn't exactly look at the label.
Yeah, that's a Kyle question. So with the potions we started with, because that's what you had, was just one of the ones like we get during character creation. Would those be automatically Hexmart potions?
All potions are Hexmart. There really isn't anybody. There are like some corporations that make really powerful potions, but at this point in your stage, any potion you encounter will be Hexmart because they do the low budget, cheap potions that are minor.
So then Micah Star would say, like, well, they have a monopoly, so what else do they expect us to use?
Exactly. However, and this Amber kind of like looks begrudgingly, and she says, well, it did save my life. I didn't die. But it's not like I had any other options.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, they'll get the job done. I'm grateful we have them, but I would love to see a little competition in the potion market.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. Where did Microstar go? Oh, there you are, hiding behind the wall.
I moved a little bit. I was messing around with my character.
Nice. Okay.
As usual.
The next campfire question. Amber, what is a place that Microstar never wanted to leave?
Yo, the forest.
Yup.
How so and why?
That's true.
She kind of like looks her up and down, then looks back at the interviewer, and she's like, I'm not exactly sure how to answer this question. Like, look at her. That she does not belong in a stone jungle. She belongs in a forest with her people in her colony.
She actually belongs in a corporate-approved research facility. Great advancements are happening in spore site technology. TM.
You know, yes, Amber, you're absolutely right. I never wanted to leave the forest, but the truth is that I had to leave because my people needed my help. They needed somebody to leave the network and to fight the enemy on the outside. So, here I am. I'm here to protect my people and curtail the corporate spread and rot through the land. And even though I miss the forest, I'm here to protect. I'm here to protect the forest. That's why I had to leave.
Okay. Microstar, what is a place that Amber never wanted to leave?
So one time we broke into a vault in a bank, and we were there for a very specific duel. But Amber saw all of the gold coins everywhere, all the chests. There were piles and piles of gold, and Amber was rolling around in them. Just couldn't believe how much treasure was inside of the vault. But there was
best day.
it was definitely one of Amber's favorite days, and we used both of our abilities to get into the vault, but the problem was that this was kind of a stealth operation, and so we couldn't take anything besides what we needed. And so Micah Star kind of had to like grab Amber and drag her out a little bit because she didn't want to leave. But we couldn't risk taking any gold because we were trying to fly under the radar. But we got what we needed and we got out of there, and Amber was swearing a lot, but
Yeah, I'm sorry I didn't mean any of those things, but I didn't really want to leave at all. So
yeah, it's okay. I know how it is. I knew you know, sometimes we stray from the mission a little bit. It happens to me too. Sometimes I see an interesting fungus I've never met before, and I have to stop and take a little look-see before I get on with my business. So it happens to the best of us.
yeah.
Well, most of your answer to that question gets buzzed out by the audience, and there seems to be technical difficulties again, or magical difficulties. We didn't quite catch everything you said, but what I heard is that following the law is really important.
Sure, buddy.
Following your corporate contracts even more.
Don't sign the clause about souls.
Never sell your soul, kids. It's not worth it, and you don't need no insurance either.
Looks like we're having more magical difficulties. The connection isn't coming through quickly, but here's a good time for a Soulspire commercial. And a Soulspire commercial plays, saying it's the only way to be immortal, guaranteed resurrection, and guaranteed high on the resurrection waiting list. Guaranteed priority. Technically, the spell scrolls that you guys have, the resurrection scrolls that you guys have, or I think I've given you one, or you bought in one, is a Soulspire scroll. And so how it works in the world, if you use that scroll rather than signing up for their subscription service, then you get less priority when you resurrect. So theoretically, flavor wise, you'll have to wait in line when you guys resurrect yourselves.
Oh my god. Funny.
I actually wanted to ask, is there a deadline on resurrection? Could we resurrect Jerry with the scroll?
In the world, theoretically, yes, but
Campaign-wise, no. Yeah, I get it.
campaign-wise, yeah, no. And I guess in the world, Soulspire might stop you from doing that because they technically handle like all the resurrections. So they would probably just not do it, so they can decide who to use on it and who not.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Microstar, what is the hottest or coldest Amber has ever been.
Oh my gosh. Question, you asked it to me before over a different thing, and it's really hard. Can we do a different question?
Yes.
I really don't know what to say for this one.
Oh well, I can help you. I can help you.
Okay.
The coldest I was is probably when I almost passed the fuck out in the dungeon.
When you what?
When I almost died.
When you
I was
almost
before.
died.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you lost so much blood and you were trembling. It's so cold.
Okay. A different question then is, Microstar, what is the time that you saw Amber's footprints in the dirt, sand, or snow?
Yeah, I basically every night when we camp, I see Amber's footprints from her tiptoeing away to go check on her treasure stash nearby. And that's all times of year, and it doesn't matter how cold it is, how hot it is. Amber, bless her heart, she's always counting the gold we have stashed away.
Yeah, that is actually very perceptive of you. I usually try to hide my footsteps, and yet you notice them every time. Which is really accurate, because in the Labyrinth too, you are our Michael Star. What do your fun girl eyes see?
Yeah, I'm just really good at like tracking. So I don't think the corporations would track your footprints, but I'm just kind of perceptive. You know. Plus we're sworn now to each other with our runes and our carvings, so
True,
so
true.
I'm very aware of where Amber is, and if Amber's present, if she leaves camp, Micah Star's really aware of it, and maybe Micah Star can feel the little halfling footsteps across the network in the soil.
I love it. Amber, do you have anything to add to that question? Do you want to ask the same question about Microstar?
Well, yes, but also, does Michael Star even leave footprints? Question to everybody, I guess.
They're just like little. Sometimes you can see a trail of growth behind Micah Star when they walk in the soil.
Yeah, so it probably took Amber some time to learn that this means Michael Star's footprints. And yeah, pretty much after they became friends, she saw them all the time. So
Okay. On the stream, you can see the next question.
Oh?
Amber, what is a place that made Microstar feel big or small?
That's a question to Michael Star, right?
Question to you, Amber.
Oh, I thought
Oh,
they
sorry,
were
I thought-
asking you
I
first.
thought-
No, it's okay.
Yeah,
Sorry
I
about that. Don't
No,
even worry. Don't even worry.
Yeah. A place that made me.
Amber, a place that made Microstar feel big or small. You're answering for Microstar.
I'm answering for Michael Star, right?
Yeah.
I think that the smallest she felt was when she was leaving the forest by herself into the unknown, so to speak. And the biggest, yeah, that one time when we were trying to see if a hole in a tree was a good hiding spot, and we almost got stuck. I think that at that time you felt quite big.
When we were at the
Trees are
top
not
of
a
the
good
tree, you
hiding
said?
place. Yeah. Well, not at the top of the tree, but like a hole in a tree. You know, kind of like a nest, but like a hollow, a tree hollow. Yeah, a tree hollow.
Okay, cool. I think for Amber, I think the first or the smallest that you ever felt was when you first joined the syndicate and you were getting initiated. Um, and I think there maybe there's not a lot of halflings in your syndicate. So you felt small there. If you wanted your syndicate to be a halfling syndicate, that's okay too. But
I'm pretty sure I just joined whichever one, or tried to.
yeah, so there weren't a lot of halflings, and also it's a pretty large organization, and the initiation right or initiation is a little bit I don't have an idea of what it looks like because Micah Star is not part of any kind of syndicate, but Micah Star remembers you telling them that there were a lot of observers for the initiates into the syndicate and that you guys had to pass through some challenges to prove your loyalty. Um, so that's the smallest you felt. Um,
Mhm.
and I think the time you felt the biggest was when we had our hugest loot haul and you were selling them. You were selling the loot for gold. I
Oh
don't know what the
yeah.
loot was. Um, but
I don't remember the loot, I only remember the clinking of coins.
yeah, basically yes, exactly. And then that yeah, exactly. So so that's what I think that the case was for Amber.
Okay, we'll
Yeah, very,
do.
very accurate.
Okay, I have one more question here at least. Or at
Yeah,
most.
let's just do one more.
Okay. Microstar, a lesson that Amber learned the hard way.
Mm. Mm.
Don't cross the corporations.
Oh,
um, so the reason why Amber started burying her treasure everywhere was because um and not carrying too much gold on her person was because um someone she was so focused on a stealth mission, on a stealth pickpocket mission that she actually got pickpocketed herself. And she had just sold a bunch of her loot and she had a gold. But then she was too tempted to see, she saw someone she wanted to steal from and she was too tempted. And she didn't do any of her inventory or resource management and just went immediately into stealthing. And someone had witnessed her getting that pouch of gold. Um, so after that, she learned that she needs to kind of not carry so much money on her at once, especially in the city.
yeah, that was my gravest mistake.
Okay. Amber, same question to you for Microstar. What is a lesson that Microstar learned the hard way?
A lesson that Mike Star learned the hard way. I think it was about the corporations and that she couldn't take them by herself,
Yeah.
face on, because when she tried, it was after we met, a short while after we met. So when she almost got dragged to prison and we had to do a little escape together, I think that was the moment when she understood that she had to change her tactics and she couldn't just take it head on.
Yes. I love that. I love that. Yep. No, it's true. It's true. I had partially started buying into the corporate, the capitalist, individualistic mindset, and I started feeling the weight of the world on my own. But when I met Amber and we began to support each other, I realized that I had lost my way, and so Amber really brought me back to my values, and I'm really, really excited to keep foiling the machine together here in the maze.
From one hot point to another.
Like a star lifts up their hand rune with the dagger on it.
Yeah, Ember raises her fist with a clenched dagger in it for a fist bump.
Yeah.
Okay, with all that like background explored and character connections explored, is there any kind of alterations you want to make to your character's motivations for entering the labyrinth, or joining this based on like the lore I've shared with you about the world? I know last time you guys briefly had motivations about kind of taking down the corporate, which could still be an aspect of it, but do you want to add anything else on your motivations for entering the labyrinth?
I think they're pretty much accurate to what it was before.
Okay.
Now
I
even
think
more so.
too. Maybe, yeah, I think more so too. I think, but I feel like we developed the friendship a bit more too. So I think Micah Star also really wants to see like Amber succeed at her goals, like even if it's different than what Micah Star's goals are for themselves.
Mhm.
I think Micah Star like hopes that Amber will get gold and be able to like take care of herself and stuff after. I mean, she already can because she's a strong woman, and but I think that yeah, I think that I think they're pretty solid friends.
Yeah. Amber will help Micah Star with her mission as well.
Yes.
I guess what I mean is, how do you believe the labyrinth will take down the corporations? Like, and I have some options for you guys. It could be that you want a stage for yourselves, so you're thinking that making yourselves famous will give you the spotlight, which will allow you to talk to people, and you're hoping to like eventually use that spotlight to your advantage when as you progress through the labyrinth. Or you believe you bought into the propaganda that the labyrinth will make you rich, and you believe that with enough profit you can overrule the corporations. You got to play their game in order to beat their game, beat fire with fire. Or maybe you believe the rumors that within the rebel forces that beating the entire labyrinth will give you the power that you need to take down the CEO or become the CEO of Kazrak, and same kind of idea, but in a slightly different direction, where like beat fire with fire kind of come as powerful as them over time. And so you're just biding your time until you get enough power. What do you guys think?
For me, partially out of character, based on everything that you said about the labyrinth, the corpos are sending us there because they want something from there. So if we can manage to get it first and figure out what to do with it, we might have a bargaining chip for something, or again, as people say, maybe have enough power to take down the corporation altogether. I think that would be what Ember would be going for. And also, of course, money is not bad, but she was making money even before she went into the dungeon.
Oh, I love that idea. So you're saying that there's something still in the labyrinth, in the dungeon, that even the corporations want to get access to, and they can't get access to it yet. And so in addition to all these other layers of the labyrinth being a licensing system and a propaganda machine and a show, it's also this like way of getting people to retrieve this item for the corporation, or retrieve whatever power is in the dungeon for them. Is kind of what you're thinking.
Yes.
Cool. I like that idea. That's really great.
Because it kind of goes also, like Micah Star has a background question. I'm trying to see where I can see it. Like I've spent my life searching for a book or an object of great significance. So maybe Kyle and I could coordinate on like maybe that's the item that the Kazrak Industries wants us to find too.
Yeah.
Especially with like Micah Star as they want Micah Star as like a research subject or whatever.
Yeah. Maybe you have a connection to this weird item and that's why they haven't found it yet.
Yeah, and maybe that's why they're letting us get away with like kind of not signing like the contracts and stuff like that, because they're breaking more rules than normal. because they want us to kind of like do the work for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think there's a little bit of like for MicroStar, a little bit of like using the tools, like the master's tools or whatever, to like take down the master's house kind of thing. Um, and I think maybe there is a power aspect for MicroStar, like not that they want to like control everything, but like maybe they want to like get more like influence to like instill balance or like remind people, yeah, to like, connect with nature and things like that. So I think, yeah, I think those are some like hooks that I kind of I'm thinking about as we're talking.
Mm-hmm. I love it. And nothing is set in stone. We can always evolve and adjust things as needed.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love those ideas. And I think in P2K I have introduced that like there are like several levels to these dungeons. I mean, you get to like the very bottom level. There's like, and you defeat like a significant boss. Then it gives you like almost control of the dungeon. So that kind of works with lore pre-established, and so I love it.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I like it. Cool. And then also feel free to like modify your characters if you want. Like you can go as far as like changing your class. I'm not saying you have to. I'm not saying that you should. I'm just saying that like because we're just starting to get a groove in the game and we haven't really officially started yet, this is the time to make any changes to your character creation that you regret or that you want to change. And so, for example, I did add the ability for you to get ranged weapons in the dungeon, Amber. But if you really wanted a ranged weapon now as your starting weapon, that I would allow you to go back to your character creation and pick a ranged weapon instead of whatever you did. Otherwise, you can wait until you encounter those weapons I put in the game in the dungeon.
I think I can wait
Okay.
a little.
Yeah, it could be interesting
taking...
to wait. Yeah. Oh, go ahead, MicroStar.
I was gonna say I've been taking a lot of notes too. I don't have everything that I said for Amber because I was like thinking while I was saying it, but I do have a lot of the answers for Amber in a doc, so I'll post that.
Yeah, yeah. Put that either in the notes or you could put it also in the campfire if they're particularly campfire questions. Either of those
I might
areas.
copy and paste the campfire questions there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I'll put the link in. I don't have all of my answers for you, Amber. Sorry, I started taking them later.
I didn't write down most of the stuff that I said, but I remembered. Also, we should have a VOD for roughly a week after the stream, so we can just go back and re-listen to everything we said and record it down.
Yeah, the great thing about streaming is that you can save the recording, and then I think like TikTok allows you to post the recording as well on TikTok. Allows you to download it.
Yep.
Go ahead, MicroStar. Sorry.
It's okay. The only thing I don't have, I have a section in my notes doc for the inventory, but it's not current. So if you guys like look at that one, just ignore it. But I have a session notes and campfire questions.
I think you can update it with. I think you can update it with what's above. I think what's above is up to date in the notes.
Okay, cool. I'll put it on there.
I think the bloodlust. I believe Stacy, you already drank. Did you drink the bloodlust potion?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, I'll like make it in the doc where it's kind of like it's kind of like a checkbox thing, so that we can do that. And then the campfire questions. Okay. Oh God, this is so messy though.
Taker.
I really like taking notes because like I also like to use ChatGPT like Kyle does, so having like the text is really helpful. Oh my gosh, the formatting isn't pasting over very well from
It's okay.
into
Well,
it's not.
Well,
You'll fix it. It's fine.
in the Discord message.
So you have two options there. You can either just post it messy and I can fix it later for you with GPT, or in Google now you can copy Markdown. So there should be a setting to copy the Markdown in Google Docs. You can copy Markdown now. There's an option for it. Copy as Markdown. Edit and then copy as Markdown. I can't do it for you. You have to do it.
Okay.
Or maybe I can actually if I highlight it. It's in the edit
Yeah.
area. Edit and then copy as Markdown. You have to
I don't know
hide.
why I don't. I
We
don't
can
have
figure it
that.
out later.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll figure it out later. But or Kyle can just paste it from my notes. Either way, if he's able to get it.
Yeah, I just sent it to you in a private message, and then you can paste it.
Okay, cool. Thanks. Yay. This is so fun. Now I'm really excited for Amber and Microstar, and I want to get to know Galadrin more too.
Same.
Yeah. That'll be fun. Perfect. Okay. I sent to you. I had to send it in 3 different pages, or because it wouldn't all fit
It's
in
okay.
one.
I saw that. And then the I don't want to do the interview questions were a different channel, weren't they?
They can all go. They can all go in the campfire questions. That's fine.
I'll do it as a thread though.
Okay. You could do it in the thread already started by Amber.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking too.
So, I don't know if we have many viewers, but I'm going to do a quick plug. And then I'll make sure next time to like do more plugs, but then we'll also have like maybe plugs to our social media on the stream itself. And we could plug ourselves. This was kind of a test, so there's a lot of things that were incomplete or not fleshed out yet. But I do have a server that is in my TikTok link in bio. I don't know if it's set up on Twitch yet, but I can get that link in whatever Twitch profile has. And the server is the RPG server where we run this game. I'm thinking, based on player approval, of adding an observer role that will allow you guys to see the server channels that we're talking about, or at least some of them, maybe not all of them. That role is not set up yet, but if you are interested for that role and my players are okay with it, then I'll give you guys access to see certain game channels for P2P at least. And then we're going to be going live officially for the first time with our actual official first session, and we might do a official session 0 before that, involving, like, what I mean by session 0 is we'll kind of briefly go over our safety tools and what people don't want to see in the game, which we kind of already established a little bit on the surface, and we had sent out a survey for my players to fill out, which is, they don't have to, they can just tell me directly, but we'll just kind of go over those results and make sure we're on the same page with the theme and stuff, and then we'll have our first actual session 1, and that will be January 19th. Then we don't have a solid date of how we're going to reoccur the game. Right now it's just kind of up in the air based on what people can do, but we'll try to get like a routine, like maybe every other Sunday or every 3 Sundays or something like that, or something along those lines, going, and we'll announce that when that is established. Amber, you're the expert streamer, so is there anything else I'm missing that I should do or say?
Yes, a little bit. Thank you to everyone who was watching. Thank you for participating and observing. Do leave a comment. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and follow. And yeah, as stated before, come join our Discord server for some fun. That was probably all, honestly.
Perfect. Do we want to do some stars and wishes while we're still streaming? For the audience sake, or do we want to stop and then do stars and wishes, or we can do both? Do you guys remember what stars and wishes are about, or do you want me to remind you?
I remember, we can do them now.
Okay, cool.
I'm fine. How's Microstar?
Microstar is muted.
Oh.
Sorry, I was talking. I didn't say too much. I said I'm down as long as Amber is down for the
Cool.
the stars and wishes on the stream. I don't mind at all. I
Okay.
think it's a cool practice for anybody that might watch.
Yep. So just to recap for the audience listening, stars are things people enjoyed about the game, and things they loved about the game, and if they give a star to another player, then that player gets a hope if they're able to, because the hopes max out. And then if they give a star to me, theoretically they give a fear, but I'm not really keeping track of those. I kind of reset at the start of every session with my fear, so it doesn't really matter too much. And so every player gets 2 stars they can hand out. Because we're missing a player, it will only be 1 star. But you can, of course, say as many stars as you want that won't give hope. But keep it to a limit so we don't go on forever. And then wishes are things that you wish were better about the game. You get 2 wishes. There are things that you wish we do more, things we wish we do less of, things you wish you want to see in the future, things you don't want to see in the future, anything like that. They're mostly phrased as like, oh, I wish that we do this less, or I wish we do this more, or I wish to see this in the future, blah blah blah. And so those are stars or wishes. We'll start with Microstar on the top of the. We usually stop on the top of the turn game table order, and then go down. So Microstar, you're up first.
Okay, I will give a star. My official star goes to Amber, because you're really fun and awesome to RP with, and I really like Amber the character, and I also think it's really cool that you helped Kyle set up the stream so much. And I know we kind of started playing like this kind of casually, like more of a like let's see how it goes. But it's fun that you've been like so into it too. So yeah, don't forget to add your hope on your character sheet.
Thank you for reminding me. Yeah.
Yes. And if I had a second star, but I don't, but I'll do a shout out to Kyle for being our GM and facilitating these fun sessions, and for making such a cool, like making the world so cool. Like Kyle always like makes so many different like media experiences, like between like the arts and like the lore and even like a podcast kind of thing. So thank you for making it like so special and immersive.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
keeping us organized.
Yeah.
And then my wish is just I think more to keep doing the campfire questions is really fun. And for Galadrin to join us next time and to learn more about him. So I don't think we need to like change anything based on the session or anything this session. I just mean that just excited to keep doing stuff and to keep getting to know our characters.
Cool. Okay, Amber, do you have any stars and wishes?
Of course. I want to give a star to Microstar, obviously, for the amazing RP. I really enjoyed today, and I think that our characters truly are friends, and it feels really nice. And I can't wait to play more and have even more memories together.
Yes.
A shout out to Kyle for organizing all of this, obviously. Thank you so much, and thank you so much for all of the effort that you put into it, because it really shows. And yeah, a wish for the future would be to have Galadrin with us, to have more memories with him as well, and hopefully for our guest player to show up as well. That would be very awesome and lovely, I think.
Yep. Oh, this reminded me, Amber. I had you were saying your experiences were hard to tell where to apply them. I was gonna say I read your experiences, and crows at heart. Crows are really good at picking locks and solving puzzles. So I would say that experience, a crow at heart, on your experience list, on your character sheet. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
I would say you can apply that towards picking locks or disarming traps or solving puzzles. because crows, in my mind, are kind of intelligent, and they also have very good finesse. Just like next week, that means you can basically spend a hope when you're doing like a disarming a trap, and you can add your +2 to it, to the roll.
Ooh. Thank you.
Yep. And so just I would make sure like kind of clarify your other experience. I don't know what Catch Me If You Can could be. Maybe I do sometimes do like runaway sequences. I don't know if we'll ever get to one of those, but they can be really, really cool. And so if we do like a runaway sequence where you're like, where you can't fight the boss, and so your only option is to run away, or you can't fight the bad guy, then maybe Catch Me If You Can could apply towards that. Or Catch Me If You Can could apply to stealth, maybe. So if you ever have to roll stealth, I know you don't typically have to, but if for some reason you had to, then that experience could add to that.
Yeah, I also think that, I wrote down that experience because as a halfling, she's kind of small, size-wise, so the larger races would have a hard time catching her in the first place. So Catch Me If You Can also refers to her, like, even if she gets caught, she tries to escape, obviously, and it's a little bit harder to catch her just because of how nimble and small she is.
Oh, okay, so it can apply to being grappled or apply to being, like, maybe area effect attacks as well. So any kind of agile rolls. Okay. Yeah, I like that. That can make it simple. Catch Me If You can apply to agility rolls, and then the other one can apply to finesse rolls. That can make it simpler.
Yeah, awesome.
Cool.
Thank you.
Yep. Because I know last time you were saying you were having difficulty knowing where to apply it.
Yeah, because I kind of made them up as like a backstory feature. I didn't think about actual mechanics when I was filling them in.
Cool.
Yeah, it's kind of the same with mine. I might modify mine a little bit.
Yeah.
I have like Micah Star's like a wanderer and like a researcher.
Well, you still have time to modify your experiences or your background a little bit, or your mechanics, your character creation, if you want to. We'll probably solidify that at session 3, so like no changes to your character after session 3.
Sure.
Like physical session 3, not time meeting, like, so the session that we're calling session 3.
Yeah. No, that's fair. Thanks for being flexible while we get used to the system and stuff too, because I think that's also really nice.
Yeah, I think even after session 3 there can be changes if we all agree on it and stuff. Cool. And then and I trust you guys not to change your characters to trick the system or to like try to become more powerful. So which would be the downside to allowing that, would be like after you learn something you then change your character. But I feel like you guys aren't gonna do that. Cool. I have were there any other, did I interrupt you, Amber? Were there any other stars or wishes that you wanted to say, Amber?
No, that was it.
Cool. I have a star to both of you. Thank you for showing up and allowing us to test and being patient and sitting through my rambling of the lore. And thank you for handling all the bombarding of Discord messages that I did, and not being overwhelmed by all of it.
Yeah.
And your participation and wherever you're able to is amazing. And Amber, thank you for helping me set up the stream and helping me get going with that. Your advice was really helpful, and I love the tools you showed me, and it also helped me kind of feel inspired to get it going and stuff too, which I've always struggled with, so that was really helpful. And
yay!
Yeah, and thank you guys. And then wishes are maybe get like a little bit more like graphics or pop-ups to go up on the stream, maybe some like call outs to our social media if you guys want to, and call outs to my social media, and call outs to our own streams if we would like, and maybe other things that can kind of pop up on the screen as the live stream goes, and maybe advertise more. And my other wish is that TikTok doesn't get banned on January 10th, which is also why I was sad that Razor couldn't make this Sunday, because next January 19th there's like a high likelihood that TikTok will be banned no longer in the United States.
I
But
keep forgetting that's happening.
yeah, it doesn't mean I can't use it. I mean, I can still use it, but just our top potential audience will go down over time for United States at least.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to follow that law. Let's see. Yeah, and then I hope that Razor can continue to make it and make it next time. Razor's pretty reliable in my Stargate games. He rarely ever skips. So he must have had a really good reason.
Yeah.
And yeah, I can't wait
It's
for
all
him.
good.
And we'll probably do it. We'll keep it a little bit shorter, but we'll probably do like at least one of those campfire questions, and then probably do a faster comical interview session, little RP with Gradriel, and get him to answer that one campfire question. But we'll streamline it faster, and then get to playing. And then every time we do a long rest, we'll have it basically most of the session, if not all, dedicated to more campfire questions.
I think it would also be
Yeah.
cool if you establish that maybe the audience can ask questions as well. Once we actually do have an active audience that asks questions, they can contribute to the campfire questions.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That would be really awesome. And I was also thinking about like adding like, if you like the stream, this will happen. If you do this, this will happen. That'd be cool too.
Yeah.
Yeah, make it dynamic.
Yep. I've seen people on TikTok like if you, I don't know. I have a hard time asking for money, but on TikTok they do things like if you like send a donation or whatever, then the role can be whatever you want it to be, or I don't know. Sometimes they do things like that. It'd probably be like the GM's role they could control. Or we could flesh that out and agree upon things as we want to. Cool.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything else. Amber, do you want to do our closeout again?
Sure.
Another closeout.
Thank you everybody for watching. We hope to see you guys next time on the 19th. Next Sunday, please be there. Like, follow, subscribe, and thank you so much for your time. Take care of yourself and stay hydrated.
Cool. Amber, do you want to
Yeah.
call out any of your socials or any of your streams?
Not right now.
Okay.
Right now I'm on hiatus.
Cool.
But once I am back, I sure will tell you guys.
Cool. No worries. Perfect. Microstar, do you have anything to say to the audience?
No, just if anybody listens, thank you. And we're all here like having fun, and so if you have fun with us too, that's really special. And just let us know if you're enjoying it, if you feel like it. And that's it.
Cool. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Microstar and Amber. And see you guys next time, January 19th,
Talk.
same time, Sunday, 10 a.m., UTC -7. Follow me on TikTok and Twitch. And I will get those links in the bio for the Discord server. Cool. Okay,
Thanks, guys.
ending
Bye.
stream.
Yep.
I'm actually going to switch to the campaign intro and then end stream. Okay. Cool. Okay. Now we're no longer our voices.
Welcome to Peril to Profit, a fantastical journey into the Goldspire territories, a high fantasy world where corporations rule through profit, contracts, and cunning. In this satirical TTRPG campaign, brave adventurers navigate Kazrak's Labyrinth Trials of Worth, a perilous dungeon promising fame, fortune, and an adventurer's license to those who survive. But beware, the Labyrinth isn't just a test of skill, it's a corporate spectacle, a propaganda tool, and a profit machine. Will our heroes uncover the secrets buried within, or become pawns in the game? Powered by the Daggerheart TTRPG system, this campaign explores danger, dystopia, and the cost of ambition in a world where profit is king. Sit back and let the trials begin.
Welcome to the maze where the gold gleams bright through the veils of hope and the neon light. Contract signed with a trembling hand, dreams so cheap in a corporate land. The mimic smiles, the orbs all glare. Your every move they'll broadcast there. Traps lie waiting, souls ensnared. The cost of fame, are you prepared?
Welcome to Peril to Profit, a fantastical journey into the Gold Spire territories, a high fantasy world where corporations rule through profit, contracts, and cunning. In this satirical TTRPG campaign, brave adventurers navigate Kazrak's Labyrinth trials of worth, a perilous dungeon promising fame, fortune, and an adventurer's license to those who survive. But beware, the Labyrinth isn't just a test of skill, it's a corporate spectacle, a propaganda tool, and a profit machine. Will our heroes uncover the secrets buried within, or become pawns in the game? Powered by the Daggerheart TTRPG system, this campaign explores danger, dystopia, and the cost of ambition in a world where profit is king. Sit back and let the trials begin.
Welcome to the maze where the gold gleams bright in the veils of hope and the neon light. Contract signed with a trembling hand, dreams so cheap in a corporate land. The mimic smiles, the orbs all glare. Your every move they'll broadcast there. Traps lie waiting, souls ensnared. The cost of fame, are you prepared?
Welcome to Peril to Profit, a fantastical journey into the Gold Spire territories, a high fantasy world where corporations rule through profit, contracts, and cunning. In this satirical TTRPG campaign, brave adventurers navigate Kazrak's Labyrinth trials of worth, a perilous dungeon promising fame, fortune, and an adventurer's license to those who survive. But beware, the Labyrinth isn't just a test of skill, it's a corporate spectacle, a propaganda tool, and a profit machine. Will our heroes uncover the secrets buried within, or become pawns in the game? Powered by the Daggerheart TTRPG system, this campaign explores danger, dystopia, and the cost of ambition in a world where profit is king. Sit back and let the trials begin.
Welcome to the maze where the gold gleams bright in the veils of hope and the neon light. Contract signed with a trembling hand, dreams so cheap in a corporate land. The mimic smiles, the orbs all glare. Your every move they'll broadcast there. Traps lie waiting, souls ensnared. The cost of fame, are you prepared?
Welcome to Peril to Profit, a fantastical journey into the Gold Spire territories, a high fantasy world where corporations rule through profit, contracts, and cunning. In this satirical TTRPG campaign, brave adventurers navigate Kazrak's Labyrinth trials of worth, a perilous dungeon promising fame, fortune, and an adventurer's license to those who survive. But beware, the Labyrinth isn't just a test of skill, it's a corporate spectacle, a propaganda tool, and a profit machine. Will our heroes uncover the secrets buried within, or become pawns in the game? Powered by the Daggerheart TTRPG system, this campaign explores danger, dystopia, and the cost of ambition in a world where profit is king. Sit back and let the trials begin.
Welcome to the maze where the gold gleams bright in the veils of hope and the neon light. Contract signed with a trembling hand, dreams so cheap in a corporate land. The mimic smiles, the orbs all glare. Your every move they'll broadcast there. Traps lie waiting, souls ensnared. The cost of fame, are you prepared?
Welcome to Peril to Profit, a fantastical journey into the Gold Spire territories, a high fantasy world where corporations rule through profit, contracts, and cunning. In this satirical TTRPG campaign, brave adventurers navigate Kazrak's Labyrinth Trials of Worth, a perilous dungeon promising fame, fortune, and an adventurer's license to those who survive. But beware, the Labyrinth isn't just a test of skill, it's a corporate spectacle, a propaganda tool, and a profit machine. Will our heroes uncover the secrets buried within, or become pawns in the game? Powered by the Daggerheart TTRPG system, this campaign explores danger, dystopia, and the cost of ambition in a world where profit is king. Sit back and let the trials begin.
Welcome to the maze where the gold gleams bright through the veils of hope and the neon light. Contract signed with a trembling head, dreams so cheap in a corporate land. The mimic smiles, the orbs all glare. Your every move they'll broadcast there. Traps lie waiting, souls ensnared. The cost of fame, are you prepared?
Welcome to Peril to Profit, a fantastical journey into the Goldspire territories, a high fantasy world where corporations rule through profit, contracts, and cunning. In this satirical TTRPG campaign, brave adventurers navigate Kazrak's Labyrinth Trials of Worth, a perilous dungeon promising fame, fortune, and an adventurer's license to those who survive. But beware, the Labyrinth isn't just a test of skill, it's a corporate spectacle, a propaganda tool, and a profit machine. Will our heroes uncover the secrets buried within, or become pawns in the game? Powered by the Daggerheart TTRPG system, this campaign explores danger, dystopia, and the cost of ambition in a world where profit is king. Sit back and let the trials begin.
Welcome to the maze where the gold gleams bright through the veils of hope and the neon light. Contract signed with a trembling head, dreams so cheap in a corporate land. The mimic smiles, the orbs all glare. Your every move they'll broadcast there. Traps lie waiting, souls ensnared. The cost of fame, are you prepared?
Welcome to Peril to Profit, a fantastical journey into the Goldspire territories, a high fantasy world where corporations rule through profit, contracts, and cunning. In this satirical TTRPG campaign, brave adventurers navigate Kazrak's Labyrinth Trials of Worth, a perilous dungeon promising fame, fortune, and an adventurer's license to those who survive. But beware, the Labyrinth isn't just a test of skill, it's a corporate spectacle, a propaganda tool, and a profit machine. Will our heroes uncover the secrets buried within, or become pawns in the game? Powered by the Daggerheart TTRPG system, this campaign explores danger, dystopia, and the cost of ambition in a world where profit is king. Sit back and let the trials begin.
Welcome to the maze where the gold gleams bright through the veils of hope and the neon light. Contract signed with a trembling head, dreams so cheap in a corporate land. The mimic smiles, the orbs all glare. Your every move they'll broadcast there. Traps lie waiting, souls ensnared. The cost of fame, are you prepared?
Welcome to Peril to Profit, a fantastical journey into the Goldspire territories, a high fantasy world where corporations rule through profit, contracts, and cunning. In this satirical TTRPG campaign, brave adventurers navigate Kazrak's Labyrinth Trials of Worth, a perilous dungeon promising fame, fortune, and an adventurer's license to those who survive. But beware, the Labyrinth isn't just a test of skill, it's a corporate spectacle, a propaganda tool, and a profit machine. Will our heroes uncover the secrets buried within, or become pawns in the game? Powered by the Daggerheart TTRPG system, this campaign explores danger, dystopia, and the cost of ambition in a world where profit is king. Sit back and let the trials begin.
Welcome to the maze where the gold gleams bright through the veils of hope and the neon light. Contract signed with a trembling hand, dreams so cheap in a corporate land. The mimic smiles, the orbs all glare. Your every move they'll broadcast there. Traps lie waiting, souls ensnare. The cost of fame, are you
Welcome to Peril to Profit, a fantastical journey into the Gold Spire territories, a high fantasy world where corporations rule through profit, contracts, and cunning. In this satirical TTRPG campaign, brave adventurers navigate Kazrak's Labyrinth Trials of Worth, a perilous dungeon promising fame, fortune, and an adventurer's license to those who survive. But beware, the Labyrinth isn't just a test of skill, it's a corporate spectacle, a propaganda tool, and a profit machine. Will our heroes uncover the secrets buried within, or become pawns in the game? Powered by the Daggerheart TTRPG system, this campaign explores danger, dystopia, and the cost of ambition in a world where profit is king. Sit back and let the trials begin.
Welcome to the maze where the gold gleams bright through the veils of hope and the neon light. Contract signed with a trembling hand, dreams so cheap in a corporate land. The mimic smiles, the orbs all glare. Your every move they'll broadcast there. Traps lie waiting, souls ensnare. The cost of fame, are you
Micastar, the walking mushroom, experimental asset. Micastar is a fascinating blend of utility and unpredictability. As a living conduit of the mycelial network, they've generated 5 chests annually through innovations like Sporesight Analytics. Their guerrilla gardening may border on unsanctioned ecological reclamation, but the potential for proprietary fungal applications cannot be overstated. However, their debt totals a steep 20 bags, primarily from off-grid activities and unauthorized spore dispersion. An experimental asset certainly, but fungi grow everywhere. Let's ensure their loyalty does too.
Welcome to the maze where the gold gleams bright through the veils of hope and the neon light. Contract signed with a trembling hand, dreams so cheap in a corporate land. The mimic smiles, the orbs all glare. Your every move they'll broadcast there.
Amber, TM. The Slyborn Shadow. High risk, high reward. Amber embodies ingenuity, albeit with a penchant for boundary pushing. This halfling rogue's strategies inspired the Hexmart Stealth Starter Kit, generating modest revenue of 1 chest annually. Yet her history with document tampering and pickpocketing places her as a high-risk entity, with debts amounting to 21 bags. While syndicate ties remain a concern, her charm and skills are invaluable for low-risk thrill-seeker markets. Creativity is encouraged, just not at the expense of our contracts.
Waiting souls ensnare. The cost of fame, are you prepared? Profit and peril, the price we pay. For the labyrinth holds us night and day. Through fire and shadows we seek the prize, but the truth we find is in corporate lies.
Galadran, TM. The Winged Giant, marketable angelic appeal. Galadran's flight patterns alone are a goldmine, generating 3 chests annually through the wildly popular Spiritual Airways to More meditation series. With a broad appeal to pious demographics, he represents a valuable marketing asset. However, his failure to license airspace use and persistent resistance to loyalty waivers flag him as a potential rebel sympathizer. His current debt stands at 15 bags, a manageable sum if his celestial branding is properly leveraged. Wings are a privilege. Let's ensure he understands the cost.
Skeletons march with a weary sigh, bound to contracts they can't defy. Goblins cheer for the mighty brand while the players fall at the system's head. Rise, rise, adventurers bold. The legends are lies, the truth is cold. The golden ladder to the skies above is built on the backs of the ones you love. Profit and peril, the price we pay. For the labyrinth holds us night and day. Through fire and shadows we seek the prize, but the truth we find is in corporate lies. Profit and peril, the price we pay. For the labyrinth holds us night and day. Through fire and shadows we seek the prize, but the truth we find is in corporate lies. Run for the orbs, the show must go on, for the labyrinth consumes till all is gone.
Micastar, the walking mushroom, experimental asset. Micastar is a fascinating blend of utility and unpredictability. As a living conduit of the mycelial network, they've generated 5 chests annually through innovations like spore site analytics. Their guerrilla gardening may border on unsanctioned ecological reclamation, but the potential for proprietary fungal applications cannot be overstated. However, their debt totals a steep 20 bags, primarily from off-grid activities and unauthorized spore dispersion. An experimental asset certainly, but fungi grow everywhere. Let's ensure their loyalty does too.
Welcome to the maze where the gold gleams bright through the veils of hope and the neon light. Contract signed with a trembling head, dreams so cheap in a corporate land. The mimic smiles, the orbs all glare. Your every move they'll broadcast there.
Amber, TM. The Slyborn Shadow. High risk, high reward. Amber embodies ingenuity, albeit with a penchant for boundary pushing. This halfling rogue's strategies inspired the Hexmart Stealth Starter Kit, generating modest revenue of 1 chest annually. Yet her history with document tampering and pickpocketing places her as a high-risk entity, with debts amounting to 21 bags. While syndicate ties remain a concern, her charm and skills are invaluable for low-risk thrill-seeker markets. Creativity is encouraged, just not at the expense of our contracts.
Waiting souls ensnared. The cost of fame, are you prepared? Profit and peril, the price we pay. For the labyrinth holds us night and day. Through fire and shadows we seek the prize, but the truth we find is in corporate lies.
Galadran, TM. The winged giant, marketable angelic appeal. Galadran's flight patterns alone are a goldmine, generating 3 chests annually through the wildly popular Spiritual Airways to More meditation series. With a broad appeal to pious demographics, he represents a valuable marketing asset. However, his failure to license airspace use and persistent resistance to loyalty waivers flag him as a potential rebel sympathizer. His current debt stands at 15 bags, a manageable sum if his celestial branding is properly leveraged. Wings are a privilege. Let's ensure he understands the cost.
Skeletons march with a weary sigh, bound to contracts they can't defy. Goblins cheer for the mighty brand while the players fall at the system's head. Rise, rise, adventurers is cold. A golden ladder to the skies above is built on the backs of the ones you love. Profit and peril, the price we pay, for the labyrinth holds us night and day. Through fire and shadows we seek the prize, but the truth we find is in corporate lies. Profit and peril, the price we pay, for the labyrinth holds us night and day. Through fire and shadows we seek the prize, but the truth we find is in corporate lies. Run for the orbs, the show must go on, for the labyrinth consumes till all is gone.
MicStar, the walking mushroom, experimental asset. MicStar is a fascinating blend of utility and unpredictability. As a living conduit of the mycelial network, they've generated 5 chests annually through innovations like spore site analytics. Their guerrilla gardening may border on unsanctioned ecological reclamation, but the potential for proprietary fungal applications cannot be overstated. However, their debt totals a steep 20 bags, primarily from off-grid activities and unauthorized spore dispersion. An experimental asset certainly, but fungi grow everywhere. Let's ensure their loyalty does too.
Welcome to the maze where the gold gleams bright through the veils of hope and the neon light. Contract signed with a trembling hand, dreams so cheap in a corporate land. The mimic smiles, the orbs all glare. Your every move they'll broadcast there.
Amber, TM. The Slyborn Shadow. High risk, high reward. Amber embodies ingenuity, albeit with a penchant for boundary pushing. This halfling rogue's strategies inspired the Hexmart Stealth Starter Kit, generating modest revenue of 1 chest annually. Yet her history with document tampering and pickpocketing places her as a high-risk entity, with debts amounting to 21 bags. While syndicate ties remain a concern, her charm and skills are invaluable for low-risk thrill-seeker markets. Creativity is encouraged, just not at the expense of our contracts.
Waiting souls ensnared. The cost of fame, are you prepared? Profit and peril, the price we pay, for the labyrinth holds us night and day. Through fire and shadows we seek the prize, but the truth we find is in corporate lies.
Galadran, TM. The winged giant, marketable angelic appeal. Galadran's flight patterns alone are a goldmine, generating 3 chests annually through the wildly popular Spiritual Airways Timor meditation series. With a broad appeal to pious demographics, he represents a valuable marketing asset. However, his failure to license airspace use and persistent resistance to loyalty waivers flag him as a potential rebel sympathizer. His current debt stands at 15 bags, a manageable sum if his celestial branding is properly leveraged. Wings are a privilege. Let's ensure he understands the cost.
Skeletons march with a weary sigh, bound to contracts they can't defy. Goblins cheer for the mighty brand, while the players fall at the system's head. Rise, rise, adventurers bold. The legends are lies, the truth is cold. A golden ladder to the skies above is built on the backs of the ones you love. Profit and peril, the price we pay, for the labyrinth holds us night and day. Through fire and shadows we seek the prize, but the truth we find is in corporate lies. Profit and peril, the price we pay, for the labyrinth holds us night and day. Through fire and shadows we seek the prize, but the truth we find is in corporate lies. labyrinth consumes till all is gone.
MicroStar, the walking mushroom, experimental asset. MicroStar is a fascinating blend of utility and unpredictability. As a living conduit of the mycelial network, they've generated 5 chests annually through innovations like spore site analytics. Their guerrilla gardening may border on unsanctioned ecological reclamation, but the potential for proprietary fungal applications cannot be overstated. However, their debt totals a steep 20 bags, primarily from off-grid activities and unauthorized spore dispersion. An experimental asset certainly, but fungi grow everywhere. Let's ensure their loyalty does too.
Welcome to the maze where the gold gleams bright through the veils of hope and the neon light.